dope on the stove or microwave. The neighbors don't like the J, they keep coming. Come on, I'ma keep serving the thumb and defy the rent. Shit smell like fungus. No Q and I just the city. Keep fuck up my business, I'm just being honest. Keep dealers and killers a mummy. Wrap your ass up like a mummy. Stack that little white hood and dip on her. I feel like OJ, little homie. Told the plug the car, I'm alone. Send it to the Pope man. Freddie P flyer than most, higher than most. Try me, didn't I see a ghost? 93 OG, it came from West Coast. Tied to your hoe, I just came from a throat. MOBB OG gang, oh let's go.
Yeah, go take a seat, get out the kitchen, I'm cooking, keep whipping it. Longest promoters keep booking, I'm running it. You get it all till I'm done with it. Give me that repo, your block, you won't get it. Hell with the skill, got it booming like speakers. I know what I'm doing. Don't need no features, squat dates and funerals, commas and numerals. Really a chef, cook it up right or left. Working my move, I need more than enough. These niggas bluff, they really not tough. Head first, running up a check till my heart start 3-point. Working on my shot, trying to get hot. Swear to God, promise not to fold, never flip flop. Good smoke, good dope, busting out the zip lock. Don't think about it, you try, you might die. These niggas capping, they living a lie.
Salute to the chat. Mic check.
I'm about to go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it. You know I'm about to get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it. Uncle Luke said, I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm gonna get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm gonna get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. It's so many ways out this bitch to get money. If you ain't talking money, that's the end of discussion.
Since they want to be banned for life, but I gotta hear some shit because I'm in my feelings about that shit. I'm big mad, fucking little mad.
Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man.
Big man, little man. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. Yo, bitch gave me that Georgia Dome. She like to turn up. Are you mad or nah? Nigga, tell me what it is though.
I don't know who put it on subscriber only mode. Who put the live on subscriber only mode? That had to be one of my mods. I didn't do that. Anybody want to volunteer who the hell put it on subscriber only mode? I didn't, but I'm about to have, I don't even know how to take it off. I'm about to have Lady Earz take it off. But I mean, I want new subscribers to come in here and check it out. So, I mean, hopefully, maybe it'll make some people sub up if they want to come in here or whatever. Well, Lady Earz about to see if she can fix it or whatever. I don't know who did it. I didn't do it, but we'll fix it though. Well, if you just came in, make sure y'all hit the like button.
Tell me what it is. All day, I've been running through your bitch with my whoa. Little man, big man. Nigga, tell me how you feel. Are you mad 'cause I pop your bitch up? Homie, keep it real. Niggas love to hate when I get this cake. Take a bitch out, I ain't talking no day. She told me so good, put my kids in the face. I'm dipping them dabbing. And fucking and passing. If I ain't mistaken. Her name is Jasmine. She a pro on the pole. Got a nigga big man. Got on their feelings. When a nigga start throwing blue cash.
Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Yeah, I heard
cash. Got her in the feelings bad, but she can't get mad. Been told her that it wouldn't last. Piped up, blowing gas. Best for life, bitch. You know that we talk flash. I know why you probably mad, because I caught a neck from that bitch that you thought you had. Why should I feel sad? Why should I even show remorse for your bitch ass? But I can't help the acting ass, and I can't really help but the swag with my flesh ass. Hit the brakes like the gas. Bought a whole 3-5, you know I had to make it last. Ran through the chat fast, but now I ain't tripping cause you know I'ma get it back. Walked and they looking mad. My whole team smelling like a whole motherfucker pad. Told the bitch to relax. It don't come close cause you gon' catch contact.
Got him in they feelings. Got him in they feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in they feelings. Got him in they feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Got him in they feelings. Got him in they feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in they feelings. Got him in they feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Got him in they feelings. Big man, little man. Now these nigga big blow. Y'all wear the same clothes. It ain't my fault that you hot by these same hoes. Walk with a bankroll. Pull up on the scene. They be like, there you go. Hit him with the Rico. Snap back 3 points in his face just like D-Roll. Gas up, come see. The nigga who you wanna be. Cop back. Nigga who you supposed to be. Made a nigga rest in peace. Big man, little man. Get to him my space. I put it on his ass. We gon' do the whole day. Fuck nigga run a full pace, leave him in the grass. Big blunts keep a nigga focused. Make him disappear, call it hocus pocus. These fuck niggas do the mostest. All my niggas like ghosties. Come out of the night. Hit him with the right. But I ain't kinda fight. I do what I like. Lean with the Sprite. Got him in they feelings, aight. Got him in they feelings. Got him in they feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in they feelings. Got him in they feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Got him in they feelings. Got him in they feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in they feelings. Got him in they feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man.
Okay, someone, a moderator turned off subscriber only mode. So somebody figured it out for me. I ain't been on YouTube long enough to figure out how to take off, how to turn it on and off. I need to figure that out. I don't know how they did that. I don't know how people not subbed up anyway, man. If you coming over here to watch me just so you can hate on me or feel like you rubbing it in my face because it ain't hundreds of people in here watching me talking about the YSL trial or watching me talking about or watching me, you know, game or whatever. I don't get what you're doing with your life. Because if I'm not stressing about who in my chat, why should you be worried about it? I say it all the time. If I wanted to make sure that there's a whole bunch of people in here, I do the same shit all these other YouTubers that really don't have shit going on talk about. I ain't gonna say they ain't got shit going on because, you know, money is money. You know, if you we know if you talk shit every day, you sitting here and go back and forth with people, you can actually make some money. You could do some numbers on YouTube. But you will never get outside of the box that you want to do. So, I mean, if it's your motivation just to argue and fuss and, you know, go back and forth, talk about kids, talk about mamas, talk about dead people, you know, argue every single day, do the doxing and all that shit. Hey, that's for some people. That's totally fine some people. It pays good. I made a good bit of money talking shit about everybody. For, you know, the 2 years or whatever that I went back and forth with everybody. I did decent. I'm not gonna cap. Y'all seen it. Yeah, people was hitting the cash shop every time they laugh. People was, you know, donating. I was getting big boy 100s and 50s and 20s and all that shit. Cause that's what people like. It's entertaining. I can't even cap. Sometimes I pull over and I watch some of the bullshit. But I choose to protect my energy because, see, in order to dabble in that shit, you have to sit here and watch these niggas all day, every day. You gotta watch everything they say so you can reply back. You gotta deal with, you know, people getting mad because they can't roast with you. So they want to go into your personal life. They want to go harass your kids. They want to go harass your nieces and your nephews and, you know, the dead people and all that stuff. They want you to get pissed off to the point where you want to crash out. You want to go see them in the streets. They want to try to put up addresses and all that stuff. They want you to get so mad till you do something in real life and to drag you off the street somewhere you was comfortable at. And guess what? You could have just changed your subject matter, stayed free, keep your monetization, because that's what they want you to do too. They want your channel to be so messy that no new people will come. You only can hold on to the people that you're satisfying. So if you do anything with those people that you being messy for, don't like what you're doing, your shit dead altogether, because no new people gonna come because you ain't got no real content. All you doing is talking about a whole bunch of people they don't know. So you ain't gonna never have no new people, and you gotta keep the old people satisfied. And that's how that works. Those old people, I can admit it, hell, I've been exiled in this sector. I got everybody was hating on me just because I had some success. I had one of the most successful over here in this sector. I had a lot of success in this sector without being, you know, dark. I ain't have to put up people's mamas every night. I didn't have to do all this wild ass shit. I didn't have to sit here and say, oh, this is what this man said every day. Everything this man says is right. I was having success before I came over here. I regret, only thing I do is regret coming over here and starting to mess with my motherfucking content. Cause I was doing some damn good numbers talking my club out. Nah, he ain't derailed me. Just Jay. I was just giving a little time for people to pull in. You know, sometimes I start a live and everybody don't get the notification. When I'm not talking my bullshit, YouTube, for some reason, they don't like to give everybody my notification. My old lady be sitting right here beside me. I be in here and started a live. And she'll be like, damn, I didn't even know you was live. My shit ain't give me no alert on neither one of my phones. So if a person right here in my own household don't get my notifications, I know damn well there's people out there that ain't getting my notifications when I ain't talking shit. So, I mean, I respect the game. It is what it is. Say, because I stopped fighting back? Nah, I didn't stop fighting back. I just stopped goddamn fighting. Shit. I mean, I always fight back. It's just that I changed my strategy of fighting back. I ain't going to fight back by still, you know, by trying to put my people in danger. Cause see, I hurt these niggas' feelings in real life. The shit that I be saying, I got these niggas wanting to kill me in real life. I ain't worrying about them trying it, cause motherfucker, I got a defense. I'm just saying, but see, when people get so mad at you and they can't do nothing, they just try to go at the people that, you know, are closest to you. You know, I got family members in Brunswick, you know, that these niggas want to try to target. You got Kevlo that keep wanting to go post up pictures of my niece. My niece is defenseless. I can't defend her when she in a different place. But when a nigga out here attacking young girls because they feelings hurt on YouTube, sometimes as a responsible adult like myself, I have to protect my family. I can't sit there and ride around with them every day to protect them. They out there by themselves. So when you know people in real life and you're beefing on YouTube and the niggas feel like they can't fuck with you, so they're going to keep messing with family members that don't know nothing about this. And instead, they want to target them and play with them and, you know, put their life in danger. And when you're dealing with a celebrity and you're not a celebrity, so people are willing to try to get a celebrity attention by, you know, trying to go at whoever their ops is. You got to be a little bit more careful. You got to be a little bit more responsible. Right. I know what you meant, 421 TV. I know exactly what you meant. But I just wanted to be clear for people who didn't really realize what you meant. You know what I mean? So sometimes I have to make adult decisions. You know what I mean? I can roast it. Man, you think because this nigga tried to come up here and dox me, nigga, I can dox this nigga mama, this nigga baby mama. I know everything about this bitch ass nigga. I could start talking shit about this nigga daughter. Man, I could go low. And guess what? Everybody will love it and donate to it. I know what I could do. I'm not worrying about that address that nigga pulled up. I'm at a new address just that fast. Let the dummy keep pulling up dumbass shit, sending people to other people's house. Big dummy. I'm not worrying about that dumbass shit, but at the same time, I'm worrying about the safety of my niece, because the more and more I join on these niggas, the more and more that these niggas start pulling up my niece information. The more and the more they start pulling up my kids' information. Yeah, you're right, Sister T. If I want numbers, I know exactly what to do. But I like to show my, like you say, Just Jay, I like to show my range. I like to talk about everything. When I'm at work listening to stuff that I might talk about, I don't want to listen to these niggas, so, man, why Earz ain't do this? Why Earz won't show his old lady? Why Earz did this? Man, Earz did. I was getting tired of hearing that dumbass shit. I get tired of hearing about a fucking Kwame Brown. Y'all niggas be acting like this nigga God or somebody. All this news going on YouTube. Y'all, if you look at my y'all really don't see my third channel. I've been trying to hide my third channel for y'all. But if you look at my 2 channels, my shorts been doing really good. Do you know why? Because I've been using shorts of people that are actually good content creators. Shannon, for instance, look at Shannon Sharp right now. If you want to get some views right now, follow Shannon Sharp. Nigga, Shannon Sharp feeding the YouTube streets right now. Shannon Sharp done broke the motherfucking internet. Clip some shit out of Shannon Sharp shit. He just talked to Monique. He done been talking to goddamn Country Wayne, Mike, all these niggas. Bruh, make some shorts out of Shannon Sharp. Go look at my shorts. My shorts 7,000, 10,000, 3,000. And guess what? Every time those people saw my shorts, people went and subbed up. I've been looking at my analytics. I've been getting subs from my shorts. This YSL trial, those shorts I've been putting up, shit, 10,000, 7,000, 8,000. And guess what? They come with more subs. They come with more subs. More people gonna watch eventually. They might not be over here now. I just gotta give them time. I gotta show YouTube that I'm dedicated to making content that ain't sitting here beefing. You gotta prove that to YouTube sometime. We'll be back good. Trust me, we'll be good. And if this channel don't never get good because it won't get out of this, sector, I'll just make another channel. I done learned how to do this shit now. Shit, I have 10 channels around this motherfucker if I got to. Break some of them that's not in this area. Won't speak not one person in this area, and some of them I'll use it in this area. It's all a formula. But guess what? Earz YouTube check gonna keep coming. I'm not about to keep arguing with these niggas and keep having to reset channels and shit, have to re-get monetized, all that shit there. Hell nah. That's one thing I ain't letting these niggas do again is take my damn channels. But y'all know how long it take to get a channel monetized? That shit look easy. Right. That shit look easy. But nobody wants to sit here and be making videos and, you can't get at least your little AdSense. Somebody to be able to hit the super chat. Sometimes people will like, let me hit the super chat. Damn, you ain't got no super chat, so I ain't sending you no money. Like I say, slow money better than no money. I'd rather slow my money down, get it all together, get it all nice and neat, than to Hell, at one time I was making $4,000 a month for about 6 straight months or whatever, talking shit. Then they took my channel. Shit. You think I ain't like, at first I was like, fuck that channel. And I'm rebuilding my new channel. And then I got my last YouTube check. I was like, damn. I ain't gonna lie, that 4,000 was coming in handy last month. And I done let y'all bitch ass nigga trick me off the streets. Hell nah. Them 4,000 paid a lot of goddamn bills. I ain't have to use my work money. So yeah. And then you gotta go 6 months and trying to re-get that back, something you already had. So you go 6 more months without making what you just was making. Oh yeah. It started making financial sense. I'd rather just make a little bit less, pull myself out of that bullshit. That way I don't go through that process of having to use a whole bunch of my free time making videos and dropping videos to get my watch time hours and my subscribers back up. All that. That could take another 6 months to a year. And you done lost out. Hell, even if you was only making $500 a month, you just lost $500 a month for the next 5-6 months. You know what I'm saying? Because you wanted to argue with niggas. Nah. It just, the math ain't mathing, so I just be like, okay, take what I made, cool, rebuild something nicer, and be able to feel good when I come out and put out information, when I be able to come out and make videos. That's my formula. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna work, but I feel better about the content that I'm making. Y'all don't have to be like, damn, you talking about this every day, and y'all might like me talking shit every day, but I like to talk about other shit. That's just me. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get to the content. I appreciate everybody who pulled up. We about to get back to this YSL trial. Young Thug, man, I ain't gonna lie, it's looking okay for Young Thug right now. But we still got a long way to go. We got a long way to go, y'all. They still ain't even got to the meat and potatoes yet, to be honest. They ain't got to the actual murder of Nut. Salute, Justin in. Now, if you don't remember what's going on, let me refresh your memory. Hold on 1 second. Y'all, I got a little sinus problem right now. Been working in that building with a lot of dust, so when I come home, sometimes my nose is a little stuffy, so excuse me if I sound a little stuffy every here and there. But anyway, so what was we at on the YSL trial? We haven't been on YSL trial since last Thursday. Now, last Thursday, let me turn my camera on, man. Y'all deserve to be able to see me on camera. I do need to put some lotion on my face, though. I don't think I'm too bad, though. And some of these niggas can't turn on their camera, man. They too crazy looking. They can't turn on their camera. I mean, I don't mind my crazy lookingness. Shout out to Too Smart, man. Salute to the hometown. Salute, Iceberg. I see you made it, man. I tried not to go too damn late, man. I know a lot of us, we the 40 plus club, man. We don't need to be up too damn late. But anyway, the YSL trial. So it's been going pretty much Young Thug's way. Now, I'm not gonna, say that it's gonna go his way the whole time, but he has some solid lawyers that have been making some solid points, and it's been making the defense look like they just been, look like they've been reaching a lot. You know what I mean? Now they do have some solid points. Now there's a couple of gotcha moments that they've had, and we're gonna point out that. So here, let me make sure I get my animes. My mouth ain't moving on my man. Let me get that thing right. Oh, we got an update. So we stopped last Thursday, right? So the last thing that we heard, and let me refresh y'all. So we've been getting a lot of officers that came up. Some of them told about, a lot of the arrests that they've had to make. when we did leave off, they was talking to the co-founder. Now, the co-founder of YSL was the guy that was on the stand the last time we was checking. He was, and they was trying to impeach him because they felt like he came up there and he told some stuff that was not true. So that's where we left off at. And they made him read off his plea deal. Now, his plea deal had included that he can't even pretty much say that anybody that's in this trial didn't do what they're accusing them of doing. That was pretty much part of his plea deal. And that woman made him read every bit of it off. And Young Thug lawyer them, they was trying to spare him a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. They were trying to say, well, you know, he didn't impeach himself here, but maybe here. But they ain't here to represent him. They're here to represent Thug, so they had to let that shit go. But here we go right here. Let's start off. So Monday, we had Young Thug's, one of the police officers that pulled over Young Thug when he was with Gunna. Now, this same officer actually pulled over Thug on 2 different occasions, which is a little coincidental, if you ask me. But so you had the DA right here. She's questioning the officer that pulled over Young Thug, and he's supposed to be. They have another officer that comes up and testify. He's an officer that already been up there one time already as a witness, but now he's coming back as an expert on gangs. But when Young Thug's lawyers cross-examine him, man, they eat this guy up. They eat him for dinner. But let's hear a little bit of what he was saying as the prosecutor was bringing him up to tell his story of a young guy that pretty much robbed the lady in front of her child. Oh yeah, we're going to hear from a witness also. Well, we might not go through her witness statement. We might scan through it because, you know, it took a while. But it was a young lady that came up there and she told a story about how she got robbed in front of her child, in front of her daughter. And, you know, the guy that robbed her, they're trying to link him into YSL. He's not in court right now. But it's another failed attempt by the prosecutor to just try to throw something at the wall for it to stick. Because this guy that robbed this lady while she was in front of her child, the most he has to do with YSL is he has a YSL tattooed on his face. So his robbery, they're trying to throw it as one of these covert acts. But the question still remains. What did this have to do with Young Thug? Just because this man got YSL tatted on his face, that doesn't mean he's a part of YSL when you don't have any gang initiation. So that's going to get discussed. So let me stop running my mouth and let's listen to some of the audio because we got a good bit to go through. We got about 2 hours of content to go through. So y'all just relax and hit the like button. Hit the share button. Do what you do. I appreciate everybody that pulled up. Let's go.
Assistant instructing are the Georgia Gang Investigators Association's Basic Gang Investigator Certification and Intermediate Gang Investigator Certification courses.
And in order to develop your curriculum, do you speak with anyone to determine what information you should be?
So pretty much he's telling his credentials real quick, and we'll speed it up a little bit. We ain't going to listen to every word of it. I just want y'all to get an idea of who the guy is that's on this panel right now.
Including in your presentations or in your teachings?
I do.
Who do you speak with?
We often speak with officers and investigators, both those primarily assigned to investigate street gangs, but also those who are not primarily assigned to investigate street gangs. These could be patrol officers or detectives assigned to other specialized units investigating a variety of crimes.
And as a result of those conversations, have you found that there's a gap in what responding to patrol officers know about recognizing gang evidence?
Objection, Your Honor. Basically, hearsay.
Over the course of your career?
I truly couldn't count the number of investigations I've been involved in, but it's certainly in the thousands.
Okay. And when you investigate...
So he done investigated thousands of cases. I want y'all to keep that in mind.
Gang cases of particularly confirmed gang members, do you review their criminal histories?
I do.
Why?
It could be informative, especially from
the arrest and the conviction.
So arrest is the probable cause standard. It means that there is.
I would reject. Ask the court.
What's the basis of your objection, sir?
It's vague. I don't know what case.
What if any thoughts go, what if, excuse me, let me strike this. It is a bad question.
Damn, I thought she didn't smile. She be so serious in the courtroom, man. I ain't think we'll ever hear a laugh out of her. That shit sound awkward as hell.
Does the fact that a gang warrant was never issued for a defendant's arrest mean that it was not a gang crime?
Your Honor.
I stand the question.
What's the basis, Your Honor? That's
So, all right, it's an improper question.
Does the fact that the warrant was not, that there was no charges, mean that there was no evidence of gang involvement?
Leading question.
I stand as the form.
Evidence, but no arrest charges.
Your Honor.
Basis.
I don't.
You have to say objections because Ms. Weaver's taking it down. So please say objection and then please tell me what the basis is.
Three bases. Vague, relevant.
We'll come back. As a gang investigator, do you always take out gang warrants when a known gang member is alleged to have committed a crime? No,
But they was giving her a hard time when it came to asking this dude questions because see, he's supposed to be a quote unquote gang expert. Gang expert. So yeah, we got a goddamn, we're gonna see what's really good.
So Ms. Weaver can go ahead and get that for purposes. The first time she's told all of you that, so please go ahead and do that.
Crime.
No.
Why or why not?
Gang crimes are not status offenses, whereby if a gang member or an identified gang member commits a crime, it thereby is considered a gang crime. What we're investigating is whether this crime is part of the gang's activities or has some connection with the actual gang, not only.
See, now what she did is she kind of set herself up right there. Because he's saying that, okay, we might can arrest somebody for being in a gang, a gang member could do a crime, but he might not be doing a crime as far as to push the gang or whatever. So now you are forced to try to link all the stuff that these individual guys are doing and say that they're doing something to push the gang forward. Now, let's fast forward a little bit because right now, like she just kind of finding out his credentials, you know, just for, you know, the purpose of the jury. But in the second, they're about to start showing a lot of tweaks. Where Young Thug's lawyer was arguing to put every tweet in context. Oh, she was fighting tooth and nail, trying not to get those tweets put in context. And then they have a lot of pictures also. So let's fast forward kind of to the pictures and everything.
But that person doesn't himself or herself get caught selling any drugs at that particular location. Has that person furthered the interest of the gang by providing?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to hear this part because y'all gonna hear some slick shit. She gonna ask simple questions like, okay, if members of a gang is selling drugs at a particular location, is that called a trap? Then she's gonna ask a question if a person has a YSL tattoo on their face and they commit a crime, would that be committing a crime to further the gang? And these are the type of questions he's answering, yeah. So this is the mindset that she's going into when she's making all these covert acts. When she's trying to say, hey, this dude did this to further the gang. Why? Because he got a YSL tattooed on his face? Why? Because he's saying he's YSL on the internet? You know what I'm saying? So she's getting all this information from a so-called gang expert and doing it in front of the jury. So the jury like, okay, this is the guy that investigates gangs. He must know what the fuck he talking about. But we're going to find out he really don't know what the fuck he talking about.
A location where its members can meet and sell drugs. Objection. They selling any drugs at that particular location for gang members to congregate.
Witnesses, etc. Identifiers because the intent is for the person to be identifiable.
All right. I'll give you a continuing objection. I'm not going. Yes, sir, you may. Okay. All right.
You may answer.
Yes, it certainly could be. And with gang identifiers, of course.
I'll give you a continue. Yeah.
Is there a case law? I don't know. I'm going to furtherance of a gang. They rob a person at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and on individual.
There's things that we may consider in.
Hold on, y'all. I want y'all to hear this question real quick.
In the gang. Was there enhanced member? Did the gang receive proceeds, money?
Your Honor, he's in
overrule your objection, sir. Objection.
And y'all gonna notice how much all of a sudden this judge start overruling objections. We hardly ever hear him overruling objections when it's the prosecutor. I mean, when it's the defense. But he gonna overrule a lot of objections right here. But I want y'all to definitely hear this part right here.
Is what she needs to do? Okay.
And I'll repeat the question.
That's not the first time she's told all of you that, so please go ahead and do that.
As a gang investigator, do you always take out gang warrants when a known gang member is alleged to have committed a crime?
No.
Why or why not?
Gang crimes are not status offenses, whereby if a gang member or an identified gang member commits a crime, it thereby is considered a gang crime. What we're investigating is whether this crime is part of the gang's activities or has some connection with the actual gang, not only with the gang member themselves.
And when you are determining to take out an additional warrant for gang activity, how do you determine if a crime is in furtherance of the gang?
Your Honor, that goes to intent.
Please object, Mr. Steele, and state.
That's my objection. It goes to intent.
Instructor.
I am.
And what courses do you teach? Are you an instructor?
I am.
And what courses do you teach?
My fault,
I
y'all.
teach a
I fucked
variety of
around.
courses,
I messed around and hit the
regarding-
down button and it started it from the beginning.
You can answer the question, please, if you can.
As we discussed when I was here back in November, we typically view the primary interests of the gang as being the pursuit of money, power, and respect. As we're evaluating those things, we may look at whether a particular crime has had certain impacts, including was the crime potentially committed as retaliation against another person for an insult against the gang itself or a gang member? Did the gang receive proceeds, money, something else of value from the commission of this crime? Was the crime committed in a highly visible manner such that victims or witnesses may know or be able to determine or identify that a particular gang committed this crime?
Hell, with those answers, then none of your crimes really prove that any of this shit was done to further YSL, except for possibly the murder of Nut. But they really haven't digged into that yet. I think they're saving that for the end. But by the end, I think all the jury is going to be like, you ain't really proved nothing the whole time. But if they can prove that one murder that Young Thug had something to do with that can be the nail in the coffin.
Did the gang member boast or take credit for this crime, maybe on social media, as a way to enhance their own reputation or gain promotion with it, or maintain or reinforce or promote itself? In that cooperation, that then return in trying to.
If an individual commits an armed robbery in broad daylight around 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Damn, she being real specific. If an individual does a robbery in the broad daylight around about 2:30 in his pajamas, after he just left his baby mama house, after he just smoked the Black and Mild and a blunt. God damn.
And they have a YSL tattoo on their face.
When she's talking about Tick, which is the guy that was just on the stand for a couple of weeks, because he got a YSL tattoo, he committed a robbery. Oh no, they also talking about this other guy that they about to start discussing. So she's particularly talking about a certain person, and she's about to ask this question.
And they rob a person without a mask with other individuals. Would that be evidence or something that you consider to be in furtherance of a gang?
Objection, Your Honor.
Basis, Mr. Sharp.
This is invading the province of the jury.
I'm gonna overrule the objection, Mr. Sharp.
Additionally, Your Honor, it's mirroring.
Every lawyer right now is standing up saying objection because this is a bullshit question. How can you ask a dude? So if somebody robs somebody in broad daylight with a tattoo of a gang on their face, is that in furtherance of the gang? What the fuck kind of question is that? That's a biased ass question. Like, he's a gang expert, yes, but that's an opinionated question there. And once again, you see the judge like, oh, I'm going to overrule that. Yeah, I'm going to let her ask that. I'm going to let him answer that. Huh? What?
It's a what hypothetical?
Mirroring hypothetical.
And every one of these lawyers are objecting back to back to back to back, trying to get that shit. Nah, we ain't gonna do that. But that judge, boy, he nah. Overrule. I never heard that judge overrule so many times back to back. Never.
That the state's response, is there a case law? I don't know. Is there a case law to support a mirroring hypothetical?
I'll overrule the objection, Mr. Sharp.
And may I place an objection on the record to call for an ultimate conclusion, Your Honor?
Overrule, Mr. Matthews. Yes, Mr. Steele.
Thank you, sir. Can I have a continuing objection to intent? Not beyond the ken of the jury. That's my objection.
I'll give you a continuing objection. I'm not going to give it on that basis. Okay? All right.
Your Honor, we all have that continuing objection.
Yes, sir, you may. Okay, all right.
You may answer.
Yes, it certainly could be. And with gang identifiers, of course, we call them identifiers because the intent is for the person to be identifiable. Again, not necessarily by the police, but oftentimes by rivals, potential victims, witnesses, etc.
Okay. And let me ask you another hypothetical. If a person secures...
Since when do you get to ask hypothetical questions in court? I thought everything had to be facts, evidence. Now all of a sudden, hey, let me ask you a hypothetical question. Wouldn't that be what it was they've been saying the whole time when they object? Circumstantial. Or whatever, what the word is that they call it every time that somebody asks a question, but it's kind of opinionated. I'll think of it in a minute. I'll think of the word in a minute that's trying to come to my head.
Secures a location for gang members to congregate and sell drugs, but that person doesn't himself or herself get caught selling any drugs at that particular location. Has that person furthered the interest of the gang by...
Now, listen to that question. Suppose someone's selling drugs, but they never been caught at that particular location. Then you can't say they selling drugs at that location. Listen to the question.
Etc.
Okay. And let me ask you another hypothetical. If a person secures a location for gang members to congregate and sell...
Speculation. Thank you, 421 TV. I don't know why that shit didn't come to my head. I watched so much court, that shit should have came to my head twice. But yeah, speculation. That should have been speculation. Now she's asking another hypothetical question. You can't ask hypothetical questions. It got to be a situation, a real situation. So now she's trying to prove the point. If somebody sponsored a trap, would that be in furtherance of the location? Because remember, they've been talking about the web. It's Young Thug, the leader of the web. And remember when Young Thug was telling them, man, all y'all niggas just give me the money and I'll pay for the rent, since all y'all niggas can't pay for the rent. But y'all seen all of them niggas trying to pay their own rent, but Thug will help them out. So she's trying to make that link and say, well, since he's sponsoring the trap, he's pretty much sponsoring for them to go make money at the trap so they can pay him. Okay, so since he's considered an expert, he can answer hypotheticals. He's considered to have experience that would relate to... Thank you, Iceberg. I appreciate that. And somebody else had mentioned that too.
Drugs, but that person doesn't himself or herself get caught selling any drugs at that particular location. Has that person furthered the interest of the gang by providing a location where its members can meet and sell drugs?
Objection. Basis. I stand Mr. Form. Sure.
Hypothetically, if a person secures a location for gang members.
Hypothetically, of course. I had to do that. The problem I got with this, he's an expert witness, and he's an expert, and he's a witness to a case. So it's like he's gonna come up 3-4 times. The jury is gonna see this guy come up a couple of times. They're gonna be confused.
And sell drugs. Has that person furthered the interest of the gang?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Part of the foundation for being able to sell drugs is having a place to do that. A place of safety is very important to that. It's a dangerous business. And by providing that location, you've now facilitated their ability to sell with some relative safely their narcotics to earn income that supports, of course, each individual, but also the group as a whole.
Also, in your experience, does paying a bond for a fellow gang member who commits criminal acts promote or further the interests of the gang?
Certainly.
Why and how?
That's also part of that network effect. While gang members benefit individually from their crimes and from the proceeds of those crimes, there's also a collective agreement within most of our street gangs.
So remember, y'all, you can't bond out a nigga selling dope, because you could possibly be caught up in a RICO case for bonding out somebody for selling drugs if they want to involve you in it. You can't help pay somebody rent if you feeling like they selling drugs out of their house. You could possibly be caught up in a RICO case. What's good to beef sector?
Where if a particular gang member is in need of financial help because they've gotten into trouble, oftentimes been arrested for their participation in the gang's activities, that they will receive assistance from other gang members.
Now remember, the whole time she's been trying to pin on Young Thug that he sent his lawyer to go help out Tick, which was that co-defendant that was on the panel last week. So, you know, she's asking him questions like this. So the jury, like, remember that dude that was up here last week? And we was going through the Texas, and, you know, Thug was supposed to be helping them pay the rent and all that stuff like that. Yeah. Remember when I said that Thug lawyer went to go visit him to try to help him get out of jail? Yeah.
Oftentimes in the form of bond, maybe in the form of hiring legal counsel, maybe in the form of placing money on their books within the jail.
Now, how do you determine whether a crime is committed by an individual or in furtherance of the gang? How do you make that determination when you're looking at cases?
Now, this is an interesting question right here, because I want to know too, how do you determine that, okay, did this dude just rob this person just because he wanted the money for, you know, to take care of his own child? Or did he rob this person to say, hey, this YSL, y'all better respect my territory? Let's see what his answer is.
So we talked about some of those factors a few minutes ago.
You have an objection, Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Basis?
Ask and answer, A. And B, I'd just like to continuing objection. Goes to intent. Not in the candidate jury.
Not intent, sir. I'll give you a continuing objection, okay?
And then ask and answer.
All right. I'm gonna overrule the objection.
As mentioned a few minutes ago, some of the factors we consider as to whether an individual is committing a crime for the gang are going to be things like who did they commit the crime with, the location where the crime occurred, and we also look for evidence of the benefits of that crime. Is this a crime that's part of the gang's typical activities and therefore serves to maintain or enhance their reputation within the gang? Does this crime enhance their own reputation as a gang member? Are they flaunting the proceeds of these crimes on social media or some other public way? We know that they are seeking that money, power, and respect, so we're looking for those motives behind an individual crime. There's a bit of a misconception about gangs generally, and what I found in my experience and has been supported.
He's starting to goddamn ramble on and talk about shit that haven't been answered. What the fuck? I mean, shit that haven't been asked.
Sustain the objection as to being non-responsive. You can ask an additional question.
Was there a second part to your question?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that?
So there's often a misconception about gangs generally, and the reality is that, in my experience and supported by over 100 years of social science research, is that gangs exist on a continuum from highly organized criminal enterprises to loosely organized delinquent groups. Most street gangs operate primarily as entrepreneurial opportunities for their members. Members may commit crimes that benefit them, at least in the short run individually, but they benefit from the collective of the gang in that they receive protection from rivals or enemies. They receive support in case they're in some kind of trouble based on enemies or potentially an arrest. They also benefit socially from this. Gangs certainly have a social aspect to them, and that's a big part of the cohesion of a gang in these criminal organizations. But most of them do not have structures where there's a hierarchy or a money flow necessarily from the bottom to the top. Most operate where the gang members themselves are independent actors who may specialize in specific crimes and are simply a part of this collective whole.
I don't think that helps her case, because we're seeing that a lot, that people are doing it for their individual reason and not as a whole.
In your experience in investigating gang activity, does outwardly displaying or saying a particular gang's name or lingo during a crime have any bearing on whether you evaluate the crime as a gang crime?
Certainly.
Why is that?
Well, that goes back to the gang committing the crime in a highly visible manner such that a victim or witness can identify that a particular gang has committed that crime. Oftentimes, the gang crimes we're investigating may be retaliation against someone else for an insult or a slight against the gang or its members. So they'll want the other gang to know, and they need the public to know that this is retribution for that. That heads off future issues of the same kind. Also, gangs are groups where violence is rewarded, and the ability and the posturing of violence is rewarded. So the other way to enhance or grow the reputation of the gang itself.
And I want to go back to some of the tweets that we looked at yesterday from Mr. Williams.
From Mr. Williams.
From the Young Thug account on Twitter.
I'll sustain the question. You can just rephrase it. So.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to look back at some of the tweets from the Young Thug account on Twitter from yesterday.
Now, as far as these tweets from Twitter, Young Thug's lawyer's been fighting tooth and nail, and I don't know if we're going to show the part where they just kind of going back and forth or what tweets they should be able to allow in and which tweets they shouldn't allow out. But Young Thug's lawyer had to fight tooth and nail for them to be able to explain the context of the tweets. Because, see, this particular witness, she got to question him and say, hey, is this, this and that, she's asking about each of these tweets. But they're never in context. So they tried to make the tweets look like, a lot of gang shit. But we're going to watch the cross-examine, and they're going to eat her up when it comes to those tweets.
Back in 2011 to 2013, there were a number of symbols or identifiers that showed disrespect to the Crips. In your knowledge training experience, are you aware of members of the Crips also being members of YSL?
I am.
And do you know some of those members, who they are?
I do.
Okay, if you can name a few.
Martinez Arnold and Sergio Kitchens for two.
They was quick to holler Gunner. Sergio Kitchens, that's Gunner. So why was it that was the first two names he hollered out? They've been rehearsing this.
Now, understanding that YSL is you define as a hybrid gang and claims blood affiliation, based on your knowledge, training, and experience with hybrid gangs, explain to the jury how a hybrid gang can transition from the disrespect of Crips to embracing members within the gang, the members of the Crips within their gang.
So the term hybrid gang actually incorporates just this type of endeavor, just this type of group. And this term goes back over 20 years and is used to describe gangs that form from an overlap of oftentimes disparate groups, including members of rival gangs coming together within a separate group for specific intended purposes. And in many cases, what we see is that as gangs are ultimately in this pursuit of money, power, and respect, they'll leverage relationships with other gangs, even traditional rival gangs, if it suits their purposes.
Man, that answer sounds too goddamn educated for a bunch of niggas to say, all right, we ain't gonna beef, we in the same neighborhood, we gonna link up to make a bigger gang.
In their pursuit of those three objectives.
Okay. And to your knowledge, did you mention specifically Martinez Arnold and Sergio Kitchens? Did either of those two individuals disavow their membership as Crips to be a member of YSL?
Nothing I'm aware of.
In your experience as an investigator or gang investigator, have you heard of the terminology trap, the trap?
I have.
And what is your understanding of the trap?
It's a place where narcotics are sold.
The trap, a place where narcotics are sold. Wrong. You got niggas that'll call a trap somewhere, you know, anywhere that they're selling any kind of products. You don't necessarily have to sell narcotics to call it the trap. I've seen people call like their clothing store the trap. Their shoes and their CD, wherever they sell their CDs at, the trap.
And in your experience as an investigator, have you encountered any such places within Atlanta used by any particular gangs in Atlanta, a particular trap?
I have.
Okay. And specifically with YSL, in your experience, have you identified a particular trap that they use?
I have.
Okay. Where's the location?
There are several locations that they use. One of them, I believe, is 2539 Browns Mill Road. They've also frequented locations at 221 Cleveland Avenue and 151 Cleveland Avenue.
And the location at 2539 Browns Mill Road, do you know if that particular location had a name?
I do.
And what is that name?
It was called The Web.
I bet YSL Woody the one told him all this. Oh yeah, and the old boy, the co-founder Tick. She almost done, y'all. She almost done, y'all. We about to get to the good part. The good part is the cross-examination. But she almost done.
Now, I want to show you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 34. And have you seen this exhibit already previously?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, in that picture.
So now we see what we see in this picture. This is an exhibit. Now, this is your evidence that this man is a gang member. He got his hand under his nose. But as you can see, they already brought up the fact that we seen LeBron do this. We seen 1,000 people do this. And even today, when I was listening today, Young Thug's lawyer started reading off a whole bunch of names of people who said stuff like slime, slat, and used the same bullying instead of cooling, replacing C's with B's. He named so many rappers that was doing that. I'm like, okay. And then he asked the investigators, have y'all ever investigated a country singer, an actor, or any other these other professionals, you know, for any gang activity? Nah, it's just rappers.
Do you see the person identified as Mr. Jeffrey Williams?
Man, you know the judge done listened to at least one Young Thug song. You done heard a Young Thug song on accident. There's nobody in this courtroom that can act like they never heard a Young Thug song. When they played that Lifestyle in the courtroom, I bet the judge was back there tapping his motherfucking foot. The Lifestyle, that was even a song I could like, and I didn't even like Thug like that. I'm not a Thug fan, but there's a couple of songs I can give that man credit of that his music was great. I don't have to like all his shit. I don't have to like him as a person, but I damn sure give him his credit for a couple of hit songs. Now, some songs I feel like they pushed in front of you and you ain't had no choice but to goddamn like it. Cause when the I'm a Stoner came out, I didn't like it at first, but then when I was high as a motherfucker in the club or fucked up, it sounded good. And the Lifestyle and got me a chick, I got a chick. Now you gotta give them that. There's a couple of songs you gotta give them, whether you like them or not. But yeah, that Lifestyle song, it was a catchy song. That judge was back there tapping his foot.
I do.
All right. The individual in the back right-hand side with the jewelry on his neck, do you know who that individual is?
I do.
That's Big Meech's son, y'all. The individual back there well, nah, he ain't rolling up. That's Big Meech. That's Lil Meech. So, of course, you want to kind of link him to Lil Meech because Lil Meech links to Big Meech, BMF.
How do you know who that is?
You may, sir.
And that's exactly what old boy about to go tell him. She trying to pull in Big Meech. She trying to link some shit that ain't got nothing. This bitch trying to be slick.
Road Exhibit Williams. Before we get to that, I just asked you a moment ago about Browns Mill Road being called no, strike that. Looking at Defense Exhibit Williams 34. The individual with the chains on in the back, do you know who that is?
I do.
And who was that?
It's Demetrius Flannery Jr.
Okay. And do you know who his father is?
I do.
And who's his father?
Demetrius Flannery Sr.
And what do you know about Demetrius Flannery? Is Demetrius Flannery Sr. the founder of Black Mafia Family?
Yes.
And what is Black Mafia Family?
Black Mafia Family was a street gang that was a large nationwide drug trafficking organization.
Okay. And did they have another name that they went by?
Another name.
Did they have initials? Did they go by BMF?
They did go by BMF.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm so surprised that the lawyers didn't stand up and object to this and say relevance. Because you're bringing in another drug lord, another gang, and all that, and you're trying to link it to my client. And I don't see the relevance to it. But maybe they know something I don't.
And to your knowledge, did BMF, after having their drug enterprise, try to start an entertainment group or a company?
They did.
Right. And to your knowledge, what did they call that entertainment group or company?
BMF Entertainment.
And in your experience, is that uncommon for gangs to try and flip their business to make it appear legitimate?
Basis first, Mr. Steele. Basis.
Not qualified under Daubert, no notice.
Okay. Overruled, sir.
Objection, Your Honor, that's called for speculation.
I'm overruled the objection, sir.
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Yes, Mr. Sharp. Overruled, sir.
3 straight overrules, y'all. 3 straight overrules. Wow. That's why all these niggas should have went to trial. He would have had to overrule fucking 20 niggas, 20 damn lawyers. You get caught up in the damn RICO Act, fuck that. Everybody go to trial. Force them folks to have to go against 20 lawyers. You want to convict 20 niggas? All right, every single one of us go to trial. 20 lawyers against one? Make that motherfucker object to everything. Man, crazy.
Yes, other gangs have done this.
And
Your Honor.
Basis. All right, come on up.
so I want to go back to the last question. In your experience, is that uncommon for gangs to try to flip their business to make it appear legitimate?
No, it's not.
Okay, and have you seen that as a gang investigator dealing with criminal street gangs here in Atlanta?
I have.
If you could give the jury some examples of how you've seen that here with your experience.
She never got to the point of why she brought up Big Meech or Little Meech. Yeah, he in the picture with Lil Meech. Lil Meech hasn't been convicted of selling drugs. His dad has. So can you look at let's say a white actor and see that he's with El Chapo's son? Or not, that's a bad example. Say he's with a drug dealer's son and you link them and say that they had something to do like that. That's crazy that they was allowed to, that she was just allowed to do that.
Here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Even just with some examples from this case, Rock Crew, Red Cartel, both tried to do the same thing, as did their rival gang, YFN.
And hypothetically, is being a rapper and a gang member mutually exclusive?
Not at all.
Is being a rapper mutually exclusive from being part of an enterprise?
It is not.
Is being a rapper mutually exclusive to being a person who commits crime?
3 more minutes, y'all. 3 more minutes.
No.
Is being a record label and having, being a rapper and having a record label, is being a gang member and having a record label mutually exclusive?
Basis, foundation, all these parts.
And let me ask you this, in your experience in investigating individuals who are gang members and also musical artists, are these things mutually exclusive?
They're not.
In your experience, do gang members sometimes use their money to promote the gang or recruit new members?
Absolutely. It's one of the foundational things they do.
In your experience, is it common for rappers that are affiliated with gangs to shout out their gangs in their song or in their music?
It is.
I'll sustain the question.
Let me ask you this specifically as it relates to YSL. Have you heard songs by YSL members in which they shout out their gang YSL or any of the associated gangs, 30 Deep or Rock Crew?
I have.
The form of this question, gang YSL.
Oh, rejection, Mr. Sewell.
I have.
In your experience, have you seen gang members have a music label or entertainment company that has the same initials as their gang?
I have.
Now, we already know why she asked that question. One more minute, y'all.
Tell the jury how have you seen that?
So the examples I just gave, Rock Crew and Red Cartel both did this, as did their rival gang, YFN.
And what about ABG?
Yeah, she didn't want to point out that they was at a party.
ABG did.
Salute, Cool Legal.
As well. I don't know if they ever actually had a record label themselves, but this is actually a trend for many of our gangs, including ABG. Particularly in this time period from 2010 to 2012, almost all of them would continue to use their gang name and then add entertainment at the end of it and call themselves record labels.
This no intent is my objection.
He overruled that objection, but they haven't been able to prove that. You never convicted all the YFN members of being a gang as well as a record label. They haven't been to trial yet. BMF, you locked up Big Meech, but y'all didn't lock up Big Meech for a RICO act. So yeah, you might know this, but you never proved that. So it's wild that they are able to let that, get told to the jury.
And what you've seen with other gangs here in Atlanta, is that consistent with what has occurred with YSL, the gang turned to YSL, the music label?
Basically, not the uncanny jury.
All right, so that's the prosecutor kind of, just pretty much throwing out there a whole bunch of shit, about, what she know, what he would know. Also, he came up there in a little bit. Let me show this a little bit.
I want to ask you specifically about it.
Now, she's about to ask him about gang signs and all that stuff like that. Like I said, we're going to breeze through this real quick, and I'm going to just show y'all the pictures in the text that she's showing him, and asking him about.
Individual by the name of Christian Eppinger.
Now, this guy, Christian Eppinger, is the guy that ended up robbing the woman while she had her child with her. Now, she also gives her testimony of what happened when she had her child, and that took a while. We're not going to go over that. I'm just going to let you know that there was a witness that came up, and she testified to what happened while she got robbed in front of her child by one of these niggas. And they're using that as one of the covert acts. But once again, all the lawyers going to come up and ask what the fuck they got to do with my client.
Are you familiar with an individual named Christian Eppinger?
I am.
How are you familiar with Christian Eppinger?
From various criminal investigations.
Okay. And when did you first learn about Mr. Eppinger?
I first learned about him in 2019.
Okay. And in 2019, when you first learned about Christian Eppinger, were you investigating Mr. Eppinger or someone else?
Someone else.
All right. Who?
Quintavis Robinson.
And during that time, did you learn if Christian Eppinger had any social media accounts?
I did.
And what, if any, social media accounts did he have?
He had a Facebook account.
Okay. And how did you know that he had his Facebook account?
I observed it.
And what was his social media name on his Facebook account?
The account name was Christian.Eppinger.3, and the vanity name was YSL Briss.
And have you seen Facebook posts with the vanity name YSL Briss associated with Christian Eppinger?
I have.
And did those posts appear to contain images of the individual you knew to be Christian Eppinger?
They did.
And did those posts also contain other individuals that you know of who are affiliated or associated with the Young Slime Life or YSL gang?
They did.
And were those...
Yeah, go check that live out, Cool Legal. That was a funny one. We had Rainey come up and Queen Regina. And we talked about some other stuff too. So yeah, that was a good live. Go check it out.
Facebook posts that you observed pulled from the Facebook account that you know as YSL Briss.
Yes, ma'am.
You want permission to approach?
You may have shown those to defense counsel already?
Yes, Your Honor. They've been provided these about a week ago, but I'll have a packet if anybody wants to relook at them.
Yeah, she had literally just got out the car in my life. It was a carjacking. She had literally just got the car, but they stole her car, so that's why it was a carjacking. They robbed her outside the car, and then they took her her purse, her phone, and her keys, and then they jumped in her car. So that's how it ended up a carjacking.
Okay. All right. W through 18W through 18W and 59W whiskey and 59 whiskey.
So she's showing them the pictures now.
These are what appear to be accurate representations of posts I've seen posted to Mr. Eppinger's Facebook account.
Pictures from Facebook.
59.
And is that the same account that you just referenced, YSL Briss?
It is.
All right.
This a nigga without...
We're looking at Exhibit 2W.
There's a photograph of Christian Eppinger.
And is he doing anything with his hand?
He is.
And what is that?
He's making a hand sign.
Okay. And we'll talk about that in a moment.
December 21st, 2014.
And what if anything is posted in Exhibit 3W?
It's also a picture of Mr. Eppinger.
And what is he doing?
He's posing with his feet and making a hand sign.
Okay, and we'll talk about that. And is there a comment on that page?
There is.
And what is that comment?
There's both a caption along with it, and there's also a comment after it.
So let's start with the caption first.
Like 44, truly peace of mind, hashtag long live 44 Billy.
Okay, and we'll talk about that, but you said truly peace of mind. There is what's the date of Exhibit 4W?
It's December 30th, 2014.
All right, and is there a post?
There is.
Okay, first let me ask you, what's the caption?
It says, Lil Bruh shook with some laughing emojis.
All right, and if you could read the content of what Mr.
Now look at this. This is an interesting text. He said, "Hey, little bro, huh? What you mean you finna get killed? Slime kill people, and I don't want to fight nobody. Hey man, you good, little bro? I ain't gonna do nothing to you. Just watch what you say. Okay, what's that boy name? Don't worry about it. Just know that's my young nigga." So somebody was about to slide on this young nigga and fuck him up. Now he up here saying, "Lil bro shook. BHN, bitch ass niggas got niggas shook now." He talking about slime kill people. Hell nah. So he posted this. Somebody must have jumped in his inbox and he put this shit on Front Street so all his homeboys could laugh at it. But now it's in the RICO case. So
Eppinger posted, but it appeared that the person YSL Briss posted.
It appears to be a screenshot of a text conversation.
Okay, and could you read the text conversation?
The first comment at the top says, "Hey, lil bruh." The reply says, "Huh?" The next comment says, "What you mean you ain't finna get killed?" The reply is, "Slime kill people, and I don't want to fight nobody." The next says, "Hey man, you good little bruh. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. Just watch what you say." The reply is, "Okay, what that was that boy name?" And then, "Don't worry about it. Just know that's my young end."
Okay, and with the third yellow comment, it has, again, "Do nothing to you, just," and you said watch, but is that C replaced with an X?
It is.
Right. Now looking at State's Exhibit 5W, what's the date of this post?
And this is January 6th, 2015.
And is there a caption?
There is.
And what does the caption say?
"Keep it on me, waiting on a fuck in to try me."
All right, and is there an image?
There is.
Okay, and if you could describe for the jury the image.
It's a photograph of Mr. Eppinger, and it appears that there's a handgun in his waistband.
This post?
January 10th of 2015.
And is there an image?
There is.
Okay.
Tell y'all niggas, man. These folks taking pictures of what you do on the internet. There's a nigga that sit there watching every day, all the gang signs, all the gun signs, all the bullshit, waiting for a case to build up.
And what is posted in the image?
It's a picture of Mr. Eppinger, and with his left hand, he's forming what appears to be the letter C, and with his right hand, he's forming his hand in the shape of a pistol.
Okay, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. Now look at State's Exhibit 7W. Is there a date for this post?
There is.
And what's the date? I'm sorry.
It's RIP Buki.
Image.
And also making a hand sign.
All right. What is the date of that post?
It's April 22nd, 2015.
And
man, look at this crazy ass nigga, man. This nigga posting pictures on Facebook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guns in an extended clip. Look at this bullshit. Nigga, you gotta be dumb. Ain't none of his big homeboys telling him. Say, who said they won't smoke? With a whole bunch of handguns.
And is there a caption?
There is.
And what is the caption?
It says, who said they won't smoke?
And is there an image as well?
There is.
And what appears to be in the image?
It's a person sitting in a car with, appears to be at least five handguns on his lap and within the waistband.
Looking at Exhibit 9W. What's the date of this post?
April 25th, 2015.
And is there a caption?
There is.
What is the caption?
It says, living life, bro, I'm happy, #ESPN.
And do you know, have you seen that #ESPN before?
I have.
And have you seen that associated with individuals or members of YSL?
Yes, ma'am.
And to your knowledge, when it's been associated with YSL, what does ESPN stand for?
It stands for every slime play nasty.
Looking at State's Exhibit 10W. What's the date of State's Exhibit 10W?
It's April 29th, 2015.
And is there a caption?
There is.
And what's the caption?
It says, I'm done talking, anybody won't smoke.
And is there an image?
There is.
And what is in the image?
It's Mr. Eppinger pointing a handgun at the camera.
Next.
Then you got a nigga steady jumping in this inbox talking about sell that, sell that. Man, if you don't get the fuck out my face talking about sell a gun on goddamn Facebook.
11W. What's the date of this post?
May 15th, 2015.
All right.
And just look how dirty and broke these niggas look, man. These niggas be giving their life to the game and still be broke as fuck. This nigga got this sleepy ass shirt on. Look at this shit. He got his bandana on, the fucking toe up jeans. Man, stop, bruh. This the youth though. I've been there. Can't even cap. But I wasn't trying to goddamn be a part of nobody's gang though. Not fucked up. If I'm gonna be a part of your gang, nigga, you gotta be putting some money in my pocket.
And is there a caption?
There is.
And what's the caption?
It says rising slime, #ESPN.
And is there an image?
There is.
And what is in that image?
It appears to be Mr. Eppinger sitting, and there's a red bandana tied to the belt loops on his pants.
Looking at State's Exhibit 12W. What's the date of 12W?
May 31st, 2015.
And is there a caption?
There is.
And what is that caption?
It says, even on my worst day, I live like someone on their greatest, #ESPN.
And is there an image?
There is.
What is contained in that image?
That's Mr. Eppinger, and he's wearing a red.
Of this exhibit.
It's June 27th, 2015.
And is there a caption?
There is.
And what is the caption?
It says new ink.
All right. And in looking at this caption, can you look at the picture? Are you able to see what that new ink is?
I am.
Okay. And what is it?
He has a tattoo that says YSL, although similar to what we discussed before, looks like the S is replaced with 5.
And in looking at the caption of new ink, are there some emojis?
There are.
And what are the 2 emojis?
There's a snake emoji and a red heart emoji.
All right.
Yes.
There are caption.
There is.
And is there a date of this post?
There is.
What is the date of the post?
March 21st, 2016.
Exhibit 15W.
Hey, we done watched all those posts. All those posts and those bitches led that nigga to the Department of Corrections. All those goddamn guns, all the goddamn YSL tattoos, weed and all that shit. Then all of a sudden at the end of them bitches, they done showed the timeline. Now your ass locked up. Do we need to ask why?
What is the date of State's Exhibit 15W?
April 13th, 2016.
And is there a caption?
There is.
And what is the caption?
It says free info, bitch.
All right. And is there some emojis next to that?
There are.
And what are those emojis?
It's a police officer emoji, a gun emoji, and a 100 emoji.
And is there an image?
There is.
And do you know who that
Oh no, you know what? That's Umfunk. That's I think that's Young Thug brother.
person is?
I do.
Who is that?
It's Quintavious Greer.
And do you know a nickname for that individual?
Umfunk.
All right. And do you know any relation of Mr. Greer? Is he related to anyone in this courtroom?
I believe he is.
Okay. And who's that?
Mr. Williams.
All right. Looking at State's Exhibit 16W. What's the date of 16W?
April 16th of 2016.
And all right, the data image of Mr.
Inside.
Looking at 59W.
14.
Again, do you know who is the person in this post?
This is.
And did he have a nickname?
He did.
And what was his nickname?
Rudy.
Now that's pretty much the gist of that. So I definitely want to go past that because we want to definitely, break down everything. So you see pretty much the gist of the officer coming up. Now, let's go into some cross-examination, because there was also a cop that pulled over Gunna and Thug. So let's get into some of this cross-examination by our favorite lawyer here, which is one of my favorite lawyers. He's the one that's probably going to come out on top after this trial, because he's shining like a star right now. His style is so aggressive and smooth, you know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of rappers are watching. And if they get in some shit in Atlanta, this is probably the person they're going to go to. So, hold on real quick. Should I show this one first? Matter of fact, let's watch this one first real quick. Salute the Cuff Boys. Let's go over this with the prosecution trying to sneak in some evidence that they wasn't supposed to. Once again.
Has lyrics from Jeffrey Williams, says he has snipers behind him. And Officer Gant's testimony that these two cars were rolling in tandem together, and there's statements made referencing the connection between them.
He did not just say lyrics of Thug saying snipers behind him. Day 22 of the Young Thug YSL RICO trial had a mind-blowing moment. Officer Fikes took the stand about a 2017 traffic stop where Gunna and Thug were caught with $50,000 in cash, a stolen firearm, and drugs. The defense lawyers then tell the court that the state wants to bring up another incident from 2018 where Thug got caught speeding. Thug gets pulled over in this 2018 incident, gets a speeding ticket, but the car behind him gets caught with AK-47s in their car. Thug literally has zero connection to these firearms behind him in this other car. The judge then asks the state how Thug is connected to this. The state brings up lyrics. What are we doing here? What world can lyrics connect you to what's in someone else's car behind you? This trial is ridiculous. Hit subscribe. Here we go. First look at Thug today. Looked like he going to church or something. Looks good though. Always stretching. So this first witness right here of day 22 is an officer involving Christian Eppinger. This is Christian Eppinger right here. He shot this cop 4 times in the shoulder, in the knee, and then in the head. Somehow the cop survived, so he only got a...
Damn. So that's the part that, you know, because there was a long testimony from this cop. But this Christian Eppinger guy that we were just hearing about, man, he was a real savage out there. He shot a cop. And yeah, he definitely ain't coming home no time soon. And they definitely want to make sure he gets linked to this, so it makes it look like Thug did something. But this guy is not in court right now.
Attempted murder. Pretty sure he also robbed a mother at gunpoint with her child present. So yeah, this guy's an absolute savage. I don't know what this incident is about, but he was a minor at the time, so this is an old incident with Christian. So it's not really too important to cover, but Christian is also not in the courtroom, as you may know. He's not even on the case anymore.
Young man, I think his name is Christian Eppinger. That's what you remember, right? Yes. And you were also involved in the arrest and taking into custody of this young man. Yes. The only person that you were aware of involved in the commission of this crime was the person arrested, Christian Eppinger. Just one person, right? Yes. Okay. You don't know why that young man, on his own, decided to commit a carjacking on that day, do you? You certainly don't have any evidence or any personal knowledge that you can provide to this jury to indicate, to tell them that he committed that carjacking because he was involved in some sort of racketeering conspiracy. You don't know that. What is it?
Well, damn. Where all that overturning shit at? Because he's asking some legit questions. Do you have any proof that this man did this for the gang, or did he just do this for his own personal benefit? That's very important. I don't understand where all the objection coming from.
I stand question. Can I inquire what is improper about the question, Your Honor? You did not put anything in your report that this case was a gang-related carjacking, right? Right. You did not put anything in your report that this case was a RICO-inspired carjacking, correct? Correct. Because you had no evidence to suggest that was the case. Correct.
Uh-oh. Hey, that shit be sounding good when it just be the prosecutor up there asking these questions and all that stuff. But when that defense come up and that boy get to cooking, man, I love to see our black men out here eating at this type of level.
That was 2016, right? Yes. We're in 2024. Yes. In the 8 years since then, you still have no evidence that you can give to this jury to indicate that that carjacking was a gang-related carjacking. True?
Fucking them up.
True. Have no information, no new evidence, nothing since 2016 that tells you that case was a RICO-inspired carjacking, correct? Basis.
Well, he had to call an objection real quick. Well, cool this nigga off. Hold up. Who the fuck is this nigga? Who the fuck is this dude over here on the prosecutor side? They brought this nigga in just to get his ass embarrassed at the right time. Because remember, old girl, she was the one that asked him all the questions. Then the next day, they brought this nigga in to goddamn get ripped up.
Lawyer kind of cooking there. He's separating this incident from YSL as a gang enterprise, giving the jury that it could just be Christian out there robbing people and getting their cars and shit, which is good because it gets the jury thinking like, oh, some of these incidents could just be thrown in there and they're not actually part of any gang or anything.
You are aware that this incident that you're testifying about is part of some larger racketeering RICO.
Oh, yes.
Right? You know that, right?
Yes.
Right. You're not able to tell them, hey, look, I've got information that this case was involved in some sort of RICO case. You haven't told them that.
No.
But you don't know.
No.
You don't have any evidence to indicate that, do you?
No.
I mean, come on. Arresting officer admitting that he doesn't think this has anything to do with a RICO and this is an overt act in the RICO case. Christian Effinger is a savage and he probably should be in jail for the rest of his life for what he did. I mean, armed robbery on a mom, shooting a police officer in the head. You probably should go to jail for the rest of your life. Is it part of a bigger conspiracy? Who knows? Probably not, though. This guy was probably just trying to steal a car, dude, and make money off of it.
It would be true to say that you don't see him seated anywhere in this courtroom, right?
No, I don't think so, no.
Okay. Now.
Nah, don't think now, motherfucker. You don't think so. Do you see the motherfucker in this room or not?
Jeffrey Williams. Do you know Jeffrey Williams?
Not until this case, no.
Okay. You see him seated over there, right, in the tan colored suit?
Yes.
So you didn't know this man until this case. Now, this is not the gang expert. Y'all don't get confused. This is just an officer that pulled over Gunna and Young Thug. And he had something to do with the Christian Eppinger arrest, I believe. Don't get me the line, so y'all just pay attention, just in case I'm wrong.
All right. Do you know where Jeffrey Williams was on May 11th of 2016?
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
Separating Thug from that incident, because that was the day of the incident.
Now you talking about speculation. Nah, bitch. Do you know what Thug was? He wasn't with y'all when you arrested this man. Why the fuck are we talking about Thug here?
Have any reason to believe, any evidence, and this is just personal knowledge, you have any personal knowledge that Jeffrey Williams was in any form or fashion involved in the May 11, 2016 crime that was committed by Christian Eppinger? No.
So they just went on a 2-hour-long break. Some people ask me why I don't live stream this shit at the same time as the trial. Well, first of all, I'm on the West Coast. I would have to wake up very early, and reasons like this, they randomly go on 2-hour-long break.
Yeah, I agree with him right there because I've been thinking about, recording it and going live while I be at work because I can have Lady Earz started up. But they go on so many breaks, they'll argue about something for about 20, 30 minutes, and then them motherfuckers will go on a 2-3 hour break. Start back, another 30-minute break. Start back, another 30-minute break. Then they'll come back and then they'll go on about 5 o'clock, and then so you never know. It's kind of hard to do that. Now, if I was at home, I probably would record it still and then, come back and chop through it. But damn.
Breaks and I would just be sitting here. So I'm gonna have to blur this, but there's guns and drugs right here. I'm blurring it, dude. I ain't playing games with YouTube anymore, bro. They're crazy. That is a shit ton of money, though. Shout out Thugger Daily right here. Witness number 38 is Officer Fikes, who was involved in a 2017 traffic stop with Gunna and Thug. Third person, Don Vito, is heard on body cam claiming all the stuff in the car. He's expected to testify on behalf of the defense.
Sergio Kitchens was sitting in the front seat. Jeffrey Williams was in the front passenger seat, and Cedric Jones was seated in the back seat.
Now, I'm wondering if they're going to bring Gunna up for this part because they're starting to talk about, the situation where Gunna was in the car. So he's telling about when Thug and Gunna got pulled over and somebody else. This nigga had all that money on him. This nigga was, I ain't going to say he was a lick because he had a car riding behind him with a bunch of niggas with guns.
The red bag, where was that bag located?
In the back seat.
Who could reach that bag if they were sitting in the vehicle? I stand this for him.
Yeah, who could reach that bag? Come on. District Attorney needed to tighten up his questions.
Would a human hand be able to reach from the front passenger seat to where that red bag was found?
Absolutely. In the red bag was the FN57, the cash, the currency, and then the orange medicine bottle. But I think it was like 49,000, something like that.
God damn. These boys driving around with $49,000 in a book bag.
$49,926.
And how was there anything around or on that money?
It was rubber banded together, just like it was in the picture we showed earlier. Multiple different pills and the multicolored powder. There was a wallet with credit cards in it that had Jeffrey Williams' name on it.
If I were to guess, it was actually Thug's bag.
So what's the purpose of you rolling around with $50,000 if you got credit cards around on you? I don't get it. I see about maybe a couple of $1,000, you know what I'm saying? But what is the purpose of rolling around with $50,000 as a rapper, a whole bunch of credit cards, and you got all this dope and guns around? I don't get that part. Man, put that fucking money up, bruh. You just making yourself a target.
Now that's one of his boys taking a charge for him. That's what that is, low key.
Any other indication that that bag belongs to anyone else other than Jeffrey Williams?
No, sir.
I sustain the objection.
There's a hump in between the floorboard on the passenger and driver's side, and it was sitting on top of that hump. There was a Sprite bottle with purple liquid in it. It's either drink straight out of the bottle, or sometimes they mix it with Sprite and call it purple drink. Yes, sir. I assume that it was purple drink.
That's objection. So, that's objection. Jury is to disregard the witness's last response.
It was in the the passenger front floorboard in between Jeffrey Williams' feet.
What was the lettering on his feet?
The only thing you see is SLA.
So that's how they were able to connect this to the gang, because his chain says SLAT and he has a red bandana on.
Oh, big dummy rolling around. See, this is why I would never have a nigga riding in my car with a bandana on their fucking head. Like, bro, you asking us to get pulled over, especially if we smoking, drinking, doing all kind of shit we ain't got no business doing. God damn, you just praying for hey, police, look at me.
This is the third guy, by the way, obviously not Gunner or Thug.
Do you have any particular background trainer?
I thought that was Gunner. He kind of looked like Gunner.
Allows you to recognize and investigate criminal street gangs and criminal street gang activity.
No, sir.
That was the district attorney getting the point across that he had no training to even recognize that these people were in a gang. They're already predicting the defense is going to come up and talk about how it's not related to a gang, pretty much.
Who is depicted in 15 Lima?
Sergio Kitchens.
And where was he in the vehicle when you approached it?
He was driving.
Who is depicted in 16 Lima?
Jeffrey Williams.
Where was he seated on occupied?
The front passenger seat.
Did he have any jewelry on him this day?
Yes, sir. He's got several silver necklaces on.
Low-key, his team could say, hey man, he's wearing a Fear of God shirt. I know Fear of God is a clothing brand, but Thug's team could finesse it and make it look like, you know, he's wearing it because he believes in God. Which he probably does, but you know what I mean. This is a clothing brand. It's not really, whatever. And he has a cross on. Come on now. Little loopholes here.
I did on the break email to counsel for the defendants and to your honorable court the case law regarding that rule, the best evidence rule in chattels.
I've already ruled, Miss Love. I don't know why you even said that to me. I mean, that was 10 minutes of your life that you can't get back.
Thank you, Judge.
But I appreciate it.
These exhibits and the testimony that's going to be surrounding these exhibits are issues that the court has ruled on before. Officer Price and Gant are involved in a 2017 stop of a car. That's what we're talking about right now with this officer. In 2018, there was a traffic stop, a speeding stop made by a lieutenant, I think. He stopped a Porsche that was being driven by Mr. Williams, and Mr. Kitchens was a passenger in that car. There was another car that was behind.
Now, is it a coincidence that this same officer pulled over Thug and Gunner on 2 different occasions? One time they in a Maybach, another time they in a Porsche. Now they want this guy to come up, and this is what the defense is arguing against. They want this cop that came up as backup to come up and testify, but the only reason he pulled up, when he pulled up, the only thing he saw was the guns in the back seat. He don't know the situation. So they want him to testify, but you're not supposed to bring up that stuff because that was the car that was behind them, not Young Thug's car. It have no relevance to this YSL trial, but they want to just pile on some shit.
That Porsche, I believe a Charger maybe, with other individuals in it. That car was stopped as well. Williams ultimately was released with a speeding ticket.
Yeah, I heard him. I think we heard a motion on that. In fact, I know we did.
We did. And the individuals in the vehicle behind that car were investigated. I think Fikes dealt with them. There's some weapons and some drugs and some guns and some money that's found in that car, the second car, the Charger, where there is no connection shown to Mr. Williams other than that the cars appear to have been traveling one behind the other.
That's been the allegation all along.
Right. Those are pictures of the items that were found in the second car. Those are the items that Mr. Steele argued and asked the court to keep out, that they're not relevant to the charges either against the speeding ticket against Mr. Williams, or for that matter, this case. There's no connection to either one. You would keep those out. Those would be kept out unless the state were to show some kind of connection.
Yeah, it's in a different car behind him. It's not in his car, and he wasn't even charged with it at the time. How is this being brought up at all?
Between those items and Mr. Williams. So that was the court's position, that was the court's ruling, and so I'm a bit, I was going to say flabbergasted, I'm a bit surprised that the state is actually intending to ask this officer about those items that the court has already indicated have no relevance to this case unless they make some kind of connection. They haven't made that connection. We have not received any evidence to indicate that they will or can make that connection. So I'm asking you to enforce the ruling that you made previously.
Well, I hadn't ruled on it yet. Mr. Adams, thank you for refreshing my recollection and memory as to that particular motion. So what's the nexus of those two?
Thank you for refreshing my memory. Oh, you wasn't going to remember that, huh? You're just going to let these folks talk about the officer that got pulled up as backup to deal with the car that was behind them, not the car that Jeffrey was in, or Young Thug, and you can't prove that he knew anything that was going on. Now, he probably fully well knew about it. We all know that, but you can't prove that. That was just a whole nother car that was behind him. Anything that's caught in that car ain't got shit to do with him. So you can't just bring this dude in here to talk about some shit with somebody else. Just because you want to link it to him to make your case better. Now, this is where the good part about to get, boy, because the judge finally gonna... See, the judge sweet when it's the female over here on the prosecutor side. But I think these females going to learn to keep the women over here and keep these dudes from over here on the prosecutor side. They're rotating their prosecutors, as I see. But everybody ain't as effective. The black lady with the glasses, even though you might not like her, but she's the most effective. He got something sweet for her for some reason.
Because from the defense's position, I think we had this.
Yeah, what's the nexus? Let's see what the state says right here. Let's go.
That clearly anything that was found in the stop of Mr. Williams or that first vehicle would be relevant.
To answer the court's question, and I want it to be clear, this is Act 75 in the indictment, where it says...
Nobody give a damn what your act says in your indictment.
On May 18th of 2018, defendant Jeffrey Williams, an associate of YSL, was the subject of a traffic stop for speeding. Involved in the stop were two vehicles, one being driven by Williams and another vehicle closely following Williams.
Just because you put that in there, it still don't make sense. You can't say that this man was stopped for two vehicles and he wasn't even fucking driving. How does that work? You want him to be responsible for two cars, but he wasn't driving neither one of the cars. He was the passenger. But you want to put this in the covert act.
Containing four individuals who were armed with numerous weapons with high-capacity magazines, an AK-47 with a 30-round magazine, and overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Defense's position is that the state can't be able to try... this is all for argument at closing argument. If they feel like the state doesn't create a nexus with Jeffrey Williams or does create, they can argue that at closing. The state, in any case, until all the evidence is complete, has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt all of the cases in indictment. In this case, is an overt act in count one, the RICO conspiracy. So this is an overt act that the state is putting forth evidence to present to the court for the jury. And so the defense wants the state to be precluded from introducing evidence that is in the indictment that was presented to the grand jury, and the state has...
But that's not evidence, though. A car behind him, and he's not even driving? We all know that everything that was in that second car, we all know that was thug shit. We know those thug goons. We get it. But you can't prove that. That's the thing about America. You can't just throw it in there because you want to. This ain't fucking YouTube court. You want to tell the jury this bullshit. You can't tell the jury about a car that was behind him just because you want this man to goddamn get caught up in the what's the name? Fuck that. Nah, hell nah. I don't even like Thug. And I believe that car was his shit and all that, but you got to prove that.
And it's weight, not admissibility, Your Honor. They may feel that the state's evidence is weak, the state's evidence is non-existent, or they may think the evidence is strong, but will argue against it otherwise. But that's all for them to decide as advocates and to argue to the jury. The jury has to decide whether the evidence that the state presents is sufficient or insufficient to the standards and the law instructed by this court when they are deliberating, determining if overt acts have been admitted or completed what the state alleged in this indictment. And if the overt acts go to proof count one, that is all in the purview of the jury. That is the state's argument, is that this is verbatim, and the way it's worded in Act 75.
That's pretty crazy, right? Imagine driving on the highway and you can get in trouble for what the people in the car behind you have. What world are we living in?
I think I defer ruling on it to... In fact, I know I defer ruling on it to hear more.
This is an overt act that the state has put forward to prove this RICO, and the state should be wholeheartedly allowed to present evidence.
Ain't nobody tell you to be trying to put for a RICO because you got a nigga that's driving behind me with guns and drugs, bro. Hey, that's the loophole. You can know what you know, but it's what you could prove, bro. We can't open that door where you could say the person behind you get pulled over with you, and nah, we ain't opening that door.
For an overt act in this very indictment we're in trial for.
And the court can make a decision that there's certain evidence that's simply inadmissible. It's not appropriate, but it's hearsay. It's for whatever reason. And that's what we're dealing with. And however the case goes forward.
I will get their names. They are not indicted co-defendants. Give me one.
They're not indicted co-defendants. I'll get their name. Nigga, you just said enough right there. What the fuck is you talking about right now? They're not indicted co-defendants. I'm going to get their name and tell them to you. This man telling you, you already ruled that this is inadmissible evidence. Get it out of here.
Brief moment, Your Honor. And
they're not indicted co-defendants. I don't think there's a nexus here for this to be shown to the jury.
the state also has lyrics from Jeffrey Williams that says he has snipers behind him. And Officer Gant's testimony that these two cars were rolling in tandem together, and there's statements made referencing the connection between them.
Oh.
What? So, because this nigga got a song that say, I got snipers behind me, now you catch him in a car, so dudes get pulled over behind them, and they actually got guns. Now, you're saying that makes it the connection of what y'all can come and bring into the trial. Now, he living what he rap, don't get me wrong. But, bro, you can't do that. What's good, Kitchen Close Podcast? You can't do that. There's rules and regulations to this shit.
Hold on. He did not just say lyrics of thugs saying snipers behind him. The lyrics are irrelevant in my opinion. Second of all, an AK-47 is not a sniper. I cannot believe this district attorney just said that.
Yeah, that part too. I ain't even think about that. Since when did an AK-47 and what the other gun they said was? An AR?
Out loud and thought that that was a good point. What world are we living in, bro?
It's certainly relevant to prove an overt act in this indictment.
Your overt acts are bullshit. It's already been proven 4 of them are complete bullshit. What are we doing here, bro? This trial's a circus, bro. This trial's actually blowing my mind. Oh my God, it's so stupid.
That's why we have trials, so the jury determines if this overt act or this count, because ultimately this relates right back to count 1.
There's no nexus. Like, for example, if you had 4 YSL members or gang members in the second vehicle, one of them was in there, and you were trying to show that either membership or the other things that you are trying to allege, and that would be appropriate.
Yeah.
All right. So now the judge then kind of, okay, the judge like, all right, now I done been, you know what I'm saying, lenient as a motherfucker, but bro, I can't go for that. I can't go for that shit there, bro. You tripping. He was putting the judge in a tight spot right there.
Yes, the judge has a brain today. He said that since there's no YSL members in the other car and they're not indicted, there's not enough nexus. They're completely irrelevant people.
And right now, they probably kicking themselves in the ass right now like, damn, we should have indicted one of those niggas. We should have indicted one of those niggas that was in the other car.
People in the car behind him, technically.
And the way it's charged as well is it's at 4 individuals. So, you know, which 4? That's why I was waiting.
Yep, individuals, not a group, not the gang. Did any of them have YSL tatted on their face? Did any of them have a account where they were saying YSL?
To see which, or the nexus as to the 4 individuals, because just because 2 cars are traveling down the road at the same time doesn't necessarily make them tied to one another. So
let's go. The judge has a brain today.
There was no evidence or nothing, no statement saying, hey, other than Mr. Williams saying, you know, what's going to happen to the other people. That's the only thing I heard in the motion. Mr. Williams inquiring about what was going to happen to the other people in the second vehicle.
In the facts as Officer Gant and Officer Fikes just conducting this traffic stop, but what is the reason that this is very...
No, see, you trying to throw that in there talking about Officer Gant and Officer Fikes no, Officer Gant was conducting the traffic stop, and he called Officer Fikes for backup. So he wasn't the original conductor. So no, you can't bring in his testimony about what you found in the other car and all that shit. Them niggas ain't in this trial. Sorry, sir. Can't pull that.
Important that this is an indicted overt act is because it's all of the facts and circumstances, and that's why it's not just this traffic stop in isolation. It's not as if the state charged a defendant with...
You might as well, you're gonna have to pretend that this shit is in isolation. See, he wanted to say it's not that this stop was in isolation. You're right, it wasn't in isolation, but on paper, on paper. But as far as what you can present to the jury right now, if none of those guys ain't YSL, you can't tell somebody about another traffic stop that ain't have shit to do with me. Besides me saying what's gonna happen to the other guys. That was probably one of the smartest moves Thug did. Is have all the guns and shit behind them and not with them.
Possessing these guns in a different car. It's charged exactly how the testimony is going to come out. Exactly what is in Overt Act 75. And so the totality of Instagram, social media, all of the other overt acts, the indicted acts, the association, the connection, this total case, the jury can choose, not choose.
It's such a reach. This is such a reach. This is one of the biggest reaches I've ever seen in a courtroom ever, dude.
Make any inference they want, an argument of a nexus to, and if this was in furtherance of the RICO or if it was not.
That's why I defer ruling on it, because the pictures here, it's really, really prejudicial unless it's got some nexus. I mean, because these are pictures of automatic weapons and cash. At this point in time, I don't see it. Not that I may not see it, but I don't think you've got it. At this point in time. There's been nothing else that connects other than testimony I've heard that, hey, Mr. Williams asking about these people from the other vehicle, but there's been nothing else that I've heard thus far that would tie these particular weapons to Mr. Williams.
Understand, Your Honor, would the state be able to brief this honorable court specifically on this issue first thing tomorrow morning?
We had a motion on this, okay?
Yes,
we had a motion. I want to replow the ground again, Mr. Atkins. I'm waiting on the state to provide a nexus. That's what you all said you were going to do. So at this point in time, until you can provide a nexus, I'm not going to allow it. I mean, you can attempt to identify them or whatever else, but they're not admissible at this point in time.
He keeps looking down at Miss Love right here because, Miss Love getting him the evil eyes that she does.
Miss Love done put his ass in that hot seat like, nigga, you better get your ass up here and explain to this judge why the fuck we need to be able to, bring this into the case. And he up here struggling. Threw his ass out there.
The complete silence and response. Let's move on. Here we go.
To be in line, the state will provide and what I was going to say, Your Honor, is that with this court's ruling, essentially the state is precluded at this current moment until presents the court to satisfactory reason of the nexus from introducing any evidence on Overt Act 75 in this indictment through the testimony of Officer Gant or Officer Fikes.
I would not admit them at this point.
That's pretty much it. The judge actually had a brain today and didn't let that be talked about in front of the jury. And
okay, so yeah, that was going on around, I think, when we stopped actually. So that was before the testimony of the officer. That was before the testimony of the lady and everything. But I'm just showing y'all what we missed over the last couple of days or whatever since we last talked about it. Now, let's go into the officer that pulled over Young Thug and Gunner on multiple occasions. But on this occasion that he's about to get cross-examined on, your boy Adam's gonna make him look like the racist that he probably, well, if he wasn't racist, Adam's about to make you think that this was another cop pulling over a black man because they seen that they were successful, and he definitely gonna hit on some points. So let's go over this cross-examination right here. This is good lawyer here.
No, sir.
And this is on day,
Get your assistance, please.
I think day 26.
And if I can also beg the court's indulgence and state's indulgence to like to use some of their exhibits, and I asked them if they could put those up on the screen as I request. Officer Fikes, I'd like to, the promethazine, the bottles and the guns and so forth, do you have...
Okay, so he's talking to Officer Fikes right now. Officer Fikes is the dude that pulled over the second vehicle, not Young Thug's vehicle, the vehicle behind. So some kind of way they end up easing it in there where they allowed the dude to come up anyway and testify. It's just certain questions that they wasn't supposed to ask. But okay, the prosecutor put out the bullshit. She let it be seen. She let the drugs be seen. They let the guns be seen. All of that stuff. We kind of skipping that part, but maybe I'll be able to get to it, maybe not. But I'm going to just let you know, all the guns and drugs, the judge ended up ruling to allow that stuff to come in. So now they have to defend it. And I think they did a damn good job.
Have the fingerprint analysis that shows Mr. Williams' fingerprints on those that I can publish to the jury?
No, sir. No, sir.
No? No fingerprints?
No, sir.
The object of any investigation when...
So you ain't got no fingerprints on that, on the lien. So that puts in the jury head. It might have not have been Thugs because he was in the passenger seat. It wasn't like he was driving.
Items of contraband are found to determine who the contraband belongs to, right?
I'm not understanding what you're asking.
You don't understand that question?
No, sir. Can you?
Motherfucker, when you find scales and stuff that relate to blunts and all that, motherfucker, do you know who shit it is? Now you don't understand the question.
Rephrase it.
Sure. Let me break it down for you. When you have an investigation where contraband is found, and there are multiple people around the contraband, one of the things that you would want to do in your investigation is try to determine through your investigation who the contraband belongs to. Is that true?
Objection, Your Honor.
Basis.
Compound question.
How sustain is deformed, given the phrase, Mr. Adams?
All right. If contraband is found, you do an investigation. True?
True.
And when you do that investigation, you're trying to find things out. True?
True.
Right. When contraband is found and there are multiple people around that contraband, your investigation is trying to find out who it belongs to. True?
True.
Break it down where even a baby can understand.
Okay. Now, I noticed that in a lot of the questions you answered about the items that were found in the vehicle, you answered, well, this is, for example, an item that was found in Mr. Williams' car. You remember replying to that?
Objection, Your Honor.
Basis.
It's a compound question.
No, it's not. Overruled.
You remember responding in that manner? This is an item that was found in Mr. Williams' car?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you did not answer this was an item that was found in a bag next to Cedric Jones. You never said that in any of your answers, did you?
No, sir.
You never said that. You just said this is an item that was found in Williams' car. So the car was registered in his name. I think somebody asked that question. Okay, the car is in his name. Cool. Did you find his fingerprints on the bottle? No. Did you find what was close to who? We got to ask those questions.
But in fact, the items that you're referencing, the guns, the money, all of that, were found in bags in the back of the car, right?
Right.
Cedric Jones was the person in the back of the car, right?
Right.
Cedric Jones was in fact closer to the items than anybody else in the car. True?
That's not true.
Not true?
No, the red and black bag was sitting dead center of the car. Any of them had access to it.
They didn't ask you whether any of them had access to it. Cedric Jones is in the back seat of this Maybach, correct?
Correct.
The bag is in the middle of the back seat of the Maybach, right?
On the floorboard.
On the floorboard. And so your testimony to this jury is that Cedric Jones is not the one who was closest to that bag?
Correct.
Okay, that's your testimony.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Somebody lying. Come on, stop the cap, bro.
What about the compartment in the back of the, on the back seat? Right, the pull down that you talked about. Who was closest to that?
Cedric.
Okay. Now, the items that you found back there, though, when you were asked about them, you didn't say, oh, the items that were closest and most accessible to Cedric Jones. You didn't answer that, did you?
I was asked if those were the items that were found in Jeffrey Williams' car, and I answered yes.
Right, but in some of your answers, you specifically took it upon yourself to make sure you reference that these are the items found in Mr. Williams' car. Isn't that true?
Objection, Your Honor.
Basis.
He was already standing up before the man even got done with his damn sentence.
Argumentative and inferring what the witness intended.
How far you need me to play it back? I'm gonna go back about 20. Ah, fuck. Damn it, I hit the wrong damn button.
Ruled. It's on cross.
Yes. Okay. Now, this is 2017 when this incident occurred. You referenced that these are the items found in Mr. Williams' police and found back there, though. When you were asked about them, you didn't, right?
On the floorboard. Any of
car. True?
That's not true.
Cedric Jones was the person in the back of the car, right?
Right.
Cedric Jones was in fact closer to the items than anybody else in the car. True?
That's not true.
Not true?
No, the red and black bag was sitting dead center of the car. Any of them had access to it.
They didn't ask you whether any of them had access to it. Cedric Jones is in the back seat of this Maybach, correct?
Correct.
said that the bag is in the middle of the back seat of the Maybach, right?
On the floorboard.
On the floorboard. And so your testimony.
The bag is on the middle of the back seat floorboard. Jeffrey is in the front seat. The man is in the back seat. Yeah, he probably could reach back there and still reach it. The driver probably could reach back there and still reach it. But overall, it's back there in the back. And if that man says his, what are we talking about here? Why you trying to say it was in his car? Well, that man say that was his shit. End of the story.
To this jury is that Cedric Jones is not the one who was closest to that bag?
Correct.
Okay, that's your testimony.
Yes, sir.
All right. What about the compartment in the back of the on the back seat?
And to the black people that's in there, they like, oh yeah, he just pointed out he just lying. He ain't keeping it real right there.
Right, the pull down that you talked about. Who was closest to that?
Cedric.
Okay. Now, the items that you found back there, though, when you were asked about them, you didn't say, oh, the items that were closest and most accessible to Cedric Jones. You didn't answer that, did you?
I was asked if those were the items that were found in Jeffrey Williams' car, and I answered yes.
Right, but in some of your answers, you specifically took it upon yourself to make sure you reference that these are the items found in Mr. Williams' car. Isn't that true?
Objection, Your Honor. Basis. Argumentative and inferring what the witness intended. Overruled.
That was weak. That was so weak. He argumentative. Black man raised his voice just a little bit, now it's argumentative. He just went with that overruled.
Cross. Yes. Okay. Now, this is 2017 when this incident occurred, right?
Right.
It's about 6+ years ago. Is that right?
Correct.
September 24th, 2017. Right?
Right.
Your testimony is that you're a Brookhaven police officer at that time. Right?
Right.
You had been a police officer for some time by then.
Correct.
How long had you been a police officer by the time 2017 rolled around?
Probably 11 years.
11 years you've been a police officer in South Carolina.
No, hold on. Yeah, probably 11 years.
11 years? South Carolina, right?
Right.
Was it Anderson?
Anderson.
And Gwinnett County?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Okay. And so here you are in Brookhaven in 2017. It is about what, 7:09 p.m.?
If you want me to look at my report, I can give you the time, but I don't recall what time it was. It was in the evening.
You were heading to dinner?
Correct.
Okay. But you were on duty?
Right.
Okay. So you're heading to dinner, and this is an...
So he heading to dinner on duty. Now this about to get interesting. And he be throwing out questions just to let him know I done did my homework on you. Don't lie.
Area that you patrol, right?
Right.
This is near the PDK, Peachtree DeKalb Airport, right?
Right.
Private airport, or owned by a municipality, right?
It's a private airport. I don't know who owns it.
It's not Hartsfield.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
So he the police in the airport area. He's supposed to be on his way to dinner. I don't know about y'all, but if I'm on my way to dinner and I'm still on the clock, I ain't worrying about what's going on the street. I mean, I can't speak for a police officer, but I'm gonna imagine that unless you flying down the road at 100 miles per hour, or I just seen you shoot or rob somebody, do something obvious, man, please, there ain't nothing about to stop me from going to get my damn dinner.
Private jets and planes land at that airport, right?
Right.
Private jets and planes take off from that airport.
Right.
Any entertainers, sports figures, private individuals use that airport to come and go from. True?
Objection, Your Honor. Basis. Speculating who comes out of that airport. I sustain the objection.
Do you know? Do you know whether or not this is an airport that's used by celebrities, sports figures, private individuals?
Objection, Your Honor. Basis. Relevance. I sustain the objection.
There's more than one entrance to the airport, right?
There's one main entrance to the airport. I don't know if the other ones are all limited access like the one they first turned into.
Okay.
What part of there's multiple entrances? Nobody asks if they public or not, motherfucker. Isn't there more than one entrance? Why he playing these word semantics?
The one with limited access is limited access, but it's an entrance to the airport, right?
Right.
And then there's another entrance, right?
Right.
So there's more than one entrance to the airport. True?
True.
Okay.
Got him! Got him!
So, September 24th, 2017, you're on, was it Claremont that you're on?
Correct.
All right. Can I have the state please put up what I think is marked as their State's Exhibit 1 Lima. I think it's 1 Lima. 1, the map of the DeKalb Peachtree Airport.
But you know he cooking up something right now. He all calm and shit. He ain't, I'm talking about cool as a polar bear. You know he got some shit up his sleeve. She over here looking nervous as a motherfucker. Look at her. Yeah, what this nigga up to? The fuck? Man, look at that shit.
All right. Judge, do you mind if I step close to the witness and the
No.
screen?
No.
So I got that point with you over there?
Right here.
Bring right that point over.
Mind if I step up and so I can fuck this nigga up real
Does this map
quick?
show where you were at the time you first saw the vehicle?
Just barely. I was right here near Bragg and Claremont.
Okay, let's try exhibit number 2, please. All right, how about that one?
Yes, sir. Right here.
All right. Go ahead, point again and then keep the point up there. Is that where you were?
I was traveling in the left lane going northbound.
Okay, that's on Claremont Road, right?
Correct.
All right, do me a favor also, while your back is turned, I want to make sure that Madam Court reporter can hear you. Keep your voice up a bit, please. And then also folks in the back there can hear you. All right, so you're on Claremont.
Yeah, speak up, boy.
And show us where you first see the vehicle.
It was somewhere right in this intersection, right about this area.
Okay. Was it heading towards you?
No. I was traveling northbound and they were traveling northbound in the right-hand lane.
Okay, so that you were behind the vehicle.
Oh, no.
No?
They're in the right-hand lane. I was in the left-hand lane.
Okay. Were you in front of them or were you behind them?
I was beside them.
You were beside them. Okay. And at some point, do they pull ahead of you or do you pull ahead of them?
They pulled ahead of me.
Okay. And where did they go?
Where did they go?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go to the next slide.
Okay. Well, let's stay there for a while. Okay.
Somebody, no. Let's stay right there because y'all was right beside each other. How you all of a sudden get behind them? So you on the way to go get something to eat. Pretty much. Y'all side by side at a light. You wait till you see these black men roll up in a Maybach truck. You wait for them to pass by you. And now all of a sudden you done forgot about the food you're going to eat. Yeah. Remember, y'all, it's about 11. It's at least 10 black people in the jury right now. Because I think they said out of 18 jurors, there was 13 black people. So, you know, they might have mixed it in there. So at the most, there's probably 3 white people in the jury. But it's majority black people in the jury. So they're definitely going to play the card of discrimination.
So it's about a little after 7 on the 24th. It's September. But if I remember your testimony correctly, it was still light out, right?
Right.
You can still see. I mean, it's still daylight.
Right.
Hadn't gotten dark yet.
No.
Okay. What you indicated was that you noticed that this car next to you and you can see a reflection.
And that's not me, y'all. It just got low around this point. You know, it looked like they pulled away from the microphones a little bit. Hold on, I can turn it up just a tad, but That's as high as it's going.
And the windows.
The windows of the car.
Right. Yes.
Okay. And you said that's what you drew your attention to the vehicle, is that right?
Correct.
All right. So we've got we've got States 3 up there. Does that show us where you are and where the vehicle went after you first saw it?
No, it needs to go up one more.
Okay. Let's see. Let's try 5.
That shows it.
Okay, here we go.
Right here.
All right. So the vehicle is traveling north?
North.
Okay, on Claremont, right?
Yes.
And you see them turn into where that blue arrow is, right?
I see them turn into this entrance right here.
Okay. You were behind the vehicle at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And
So you see that these folks are clearly pulling into the airport. You trying to make a nigga miss their flight. You on your way, supposed to be going to get something to eat, and here you is fucking with me, and you see that these folks, look at this shit. Look where the arrow going at. They on this road right here, and they turning in right here. The airplanes and all that shit. So they literally turning into the airplane place. So wherever he seen them at probably was at the light right here. And instead of him going to get his food, he want to pull this man over.
you are still traveling in the left lane?
In the left lane.
Okay. And at that point, you have already noticed that according to your testimony anyway, that you can see a reflection in the windows of the car, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'll go ahead and have a seat for a second. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Let's leave that up there for right now. I got a couple of questions about that. Now, when you were testifying yesterday, you indicated that you noticed this window tint, but you didn't blue light or pull the car over right away, right?
No.
You actually watched the car for a while, according to your testimony yesterday, right?
Yes.
You indicated that you didn't blue light or pull the car over because you were waiting for an NCIC response, isn't that right?
Correct.
Now, the truth is, though, that when you first saw the vehicle, right, and it went past you, you ran the tag right away, didn't you?
Correct.
That was the first thing that you did.
This is common practice for me.
Didn't have to, if it was common practice, that's what you did. That's the first thing you did, right?
Yes.
Okay. So by the time the car is going forward and turning into the airport, have you already gotten a hit back that the car belongs to?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when the car...
He know exactly who car this is now. Car passed by you, run the tags, you see it ain't stolen. The man ain't got no warrant. He got some dark tags, tint. But you see the man pulling up into the fucking airport. Don't let this man catch his fucking flight, man. You supposed to be going to go eat. Eat dinner. You out here fucking with folks, man.
Comes out. Does it, at this point, head towards you?
No, it came out and turned left and went south on Claremont Road.
Okay. And where are you at that point?
In the turn lane.
Okay. You're just sitting in the turning lane, right?
Right.
Okay. Lights off, lights on?
My headlights or my blue lights?
Your headlights.
They were on autos, so I don't know if they were on or not.
Okay. And so the car travels away from you, right?
Yes.
And do you follow the car at that point?
No.
Okay. What do you do?
I watched it in my mirror for a minute. I saw they were turning on their brake lights several times, so I pulled off on 9th Street.
Okay. Car wasn't speeding, right?
No, I don't know. I don't have radar in my car.
Car didn't appear to be speeding, right?
No.
The car wasn't committing any traffic violations, right?
Not at that time, no.
Okay.
Other than the window tint.
All right. They had just come out of, and you said earlier, you pull over folks for window tint all the time, don't you?
Correct.
It wouldn't have had anything whatsoever to do with the fact that you saw 3 black guys in a Maybach, right?
Objection, Your Honor.
What's the objection?
Got him! Got him!
That'll teach him. Set his ass up.
I sustain the objection.
Your Honor, the state asked the question yesterday as to whether or not he knew the race of the individuals in the vehicle.
Objection, sir. What's your basis?
What's the basis for my objection?
No, I'm gonna sustain the objection.
Hey, he fucked them up so bad the judge don't even know what to say. He don't know who ejected. He was like, God damn, hold on. I didn't eject shit. He ejected.
Got him.
Hey, he got him so fucked up in there. The judge don't even know who the fuck ejected. Now, listen, y'all. He don't know who the fuck is who no more. Cause he know he got him. He got him. He fucked him up with that.
Right?
Objection, Your Honor.
Watch this. They got the white man up here too. Ooh. Y'all see how Steele played it? Oh yeah, y'all want to bring that white boy in here? Yeah, we about to make it a fucking race war in this bitch. Not a race war, literally. I mean, but yeah.
Earlier, you pull over folks for window tint all the time, don't you?
Correct.
It wouldn't have had anything whatsoever to do with the fact that you saw 3 black guys in a Maybach, right?
Objection.
That's what they got up, y'all. That's what they got up. They got the airport picture still up. So whenever they moved that, you know, in the courtroom, this is what they were showing in the courtroom while they were talking. But yeah, man, got him. That'll teach him.
What's the objection?
I sustain the objection.
Your Honor, the state asked the question yesterday as to whether or not he knew the race of the individuals in the vehicle.
Objection, sir. What's your basis?
He asked the question yesterday whether or not he knew the race of the people in there. So why is this such a bad thing for him to ask that question? Come on now, don't start playing goddamn sensitive now. What's the basis of your objection? He's asking that to the defendant. I'm not the one that objected. He got the judge fucked up. The judge asking the defense lawyer, what's the basis of his objection? Listen to him.
What's the basis for my objection?
No, I'm gonna sustain the objection. All right.
I'm gonna sustain. You're gonna sustain the objection, so that means you're gonna let my question go forward, right? Nah. You ain't gonna let my question go forward. Nah, if you were to overrule, because you're about to overrule, but you don't even know who the hell said what at this point. Salute perpetual learner.
You're speaking in response, Mr. Adams. Go on.
Thanks, Judge. Okay. You at some point turned on your blue lights, right?
Yes.
Car pulled over?
Yes.
And, it responded right away, right? Car didn't take off or anything like that, just pulled over.
Right.
You get out your car and you go up to the vehicle. You go up on the passenger side, right?
Right.
And maybe I heard you wrong. You testified yesterday that you knocked on the rear quarter panel of the vehicle and the back window rolled down.
The back passenger window rolled down.
Right. But in fact, the front passenger window is the one that rolled.
Since when do police start going to the passenger side of the car instead of going to the driver's side? That's a little strange.
Roll down first, right?
No.
No?
No. The back passenger window rolled down first.
You didn't put in your report that you wrote that the first window to go down was the front passenger window?
I don't believe so.
You need to refresh your memory?
Sure.
You got your report in front of you?
Sure.
Take a look at it. Read it to yourself. If it helps refresh your memory, when you're done, just go ahead and look up for me.
Got him! Got him!
Yeah, that's correct. The front passenger window rolled down.
All right. And then you were on the passenger side, right?
Right.
So it rolled down. And then the other window was rolled down also, right?
They rolled it down after.
Okay. And so you're able to see inside the car at that point? right?
At which point?
At the point that you're standing on the side of the car.
I couldn't see in the car once. When,
my apologies. Go ahead. Yeah, let me. At the time when you're on the passenger side of the car, sir, and either the front and or the rear passenger windows roll down, are you able to look into the car at that point?
yeah, that's what I was trying to clarify. Once the back window rolled down, I could see in the car.
All right. And let's see, Cedric Jones sitting in the back with some Kentucky Fried Chicken
Right.
bag or box or something, right?
Yes.
All occupants of the car in there eating some food?
I don't think any of them were eating it.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
I don't.
Kentucky Fried Chicken bags?
Yes.
Nigga can't even enjoy they goddamn Popeyes fucking with this motherfucker.
All right. To exit out of the vehicle, is that right? Where you had all three individuals to exit out of the vehicle, is that right?
Right.
Okay. I can have the state to go ahead and put up their 16 Lima.
So everybody got to get out of the vehicle because a tent. God damn, my nigga.
Well, let's say 16. Is that 16 or is that 15? Hey, what? I'm looking for the picture of Mr. Williams. 16. All right, yeah. All right. That's Mr. Williams, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's the individual who was in the front passenger seat of the car, right?
Right.
All right. He was made to get out of the car and sit right there on the pavement, right?
Yes.
And that's how he looked on that day, true?
Yes.
What's his shirt say?
Fear of God.
Say it again?
Fear of God.
Fear of God. Okay. All right. So he's sitting on the curb. Mr. Jones is sitting on the curb, correct?
Right.
And Mr. Kitchens is also sitting on the curb. Is that right?
Correct.
All for fucking window tint? Now, this has got white people even over there like, come on now, what the fuck? You say you pulled the man over for window tint. Did he not have some license? Did you smell weed? What was it? Is, you know.
All right. At some point, you go into the vehicle and you search the car.
Right.
You found in the, Mr. Kitchens, by the way, was driving the car, right?
Right.
And by the way, all of these things that you're observing, keep that picture up, please. I got some more questions I want to ask about it. All of these things that you're observing become part of your investigation, right?
Yes.
And so one of the things that you notice is that in this vehicle, that by this time you know is registered to Mr. Williams.
Right.
Now, is it registered to Mr. Williams or is it registered to Mr. Williams' company?
It said Jeffrey Lamar Williams.
Okay. And so by this point, you know that this car is registered to Jeffrey Williams, right?
Right.
But you also know that it's not being driven by Jeffrey Williams, true?
True.
You know that he's a passenger in a car.
Right.
Just like Mr. Jones is a passenger in a car.
Right.
You don't have at this point, any personal knowledge whatsoever about anything that's going on in the car or any of the contents of the car. True?
True.
Okay. You find what you identified as, in the front seat, as some, I think you called it either shake or what you thought to be marijuana residue on the floorboard of the front driver's area, right?
Right.
Okay. You find the Sprite bottle front floorboard.
Front passenger floorboard.
Front passenger floorboard.
Right.
Anything else? Well, on Jeffrey Williams, you take what, $2,924 that he had in his pockets.
Again, I have to look at my reports, find the exact number.
Sound about right?
Roughly, yes, sir.
Everything else you find in the back of the car, right?
Right.
So you pretty much ain't find nothing on the man but a fucking Sprite. A Sprite and this man money that was in the front seat of the car. Little shake, you know what I'm saying? But what was the reason for him searching the car? I don't know if they said they smelled weed or something like that or what it was. But this is all for a tent window. And this the same dude that end up pulling him over when they end up having the dudes behind them with the guns. So it's a little coincidental that you keep pulling me over.
I'm gonna jump forward a bit. All right, so stay with me and then come back. You ultimately ended up taking out warrants. You can take the picture down. Ultimately ended up taking out warrants, all right, for Mr. Jones, Mr. Williams, and Mr. Kitchen. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. You charged Mr. Jones, Mr. Williams with possession of the items that you found in the car, correct?
Right.
Including the gun.
Right.
Now, I want to ask you a question about the guns first. Now, the guns were found in a backpack, one of the backpacks in the back seat, right?
There was one gun in each bag.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about the one that you ran and ultimately ended up coming back as a stolen gun. Right?
Yep.
Okay. And by the way, we saw some pictures a little bit earlier, right, of these bullets that were in. Okay, so this is States 60L. All right. So although we have them here separated, what you actually have is a gun and a gun that bullets, right?
Right.
All right. Now, you were actually able, and with the court's permission, if I may approach the witnesses and put this in front of them.
Yes, you may, sir.
Okay. So this is the FS.
Showing what exhibit number you're showing.
Oh, and thank you, Judge. I'm showing him what's been marked as State's Exhibit 59L.
You may, sir.
This is 9mm, found in the other bag. All right. All right. So I got both of these in front of me. Now, you are a police officer, right?
Right.
Investigator.
Right.
Well-trained investigator. Right.
Yeah.
At what point were these guns? Because you can obtain evidence from guns, right?
What kind of evidence?
Biological, forensic evidence. Something that tells you.
I can't know. I can't find that out. No.
You have the ability to have it done. True.
True.
You have the ability to. I'm not trying to trick you. You have the ability to send it off either to the crime lab or somewhere to, for example, have it checked for fingerprints. You can do that.
Yeah, but it's not common practice. For just a stolen gun for us, it's not a common practice unless it's using a violent crime or something.
You can do that, right?
We could.
Okay. Before we move on to that, any indication that either these guns, bullets, anything tied to any sort of violent crime?
No.
All right. So let's get back to what you can do as an investigator, right? To kind of tell you who may have handled the gun. You can have it checked for fingerprints, right?
We could.
Did you do that?
No.
Okay. You can have it tested, swabbed, whatever, for the presence of sweat or any other sort of biological information that might tell you who may have handled the gun. That can be done, true?
It can't be.
Did you have that done?
No.
You are not able, as you sit here today, 24, from back in 2017 to now, you can't tell this jury that you have any knowledge whatsoever, any personal knowledge, any records, anything that tells you who handled those guns.
No, like I said, it's not common practice to get that done unless you're using a violent crime.
I understand that. The bottom line is, if we're trying to tell this jury that there's information about who handled these guns, you don't have any of that information.
No.
Ha! Got him! Got him!
So, we know we have two guns in two bags, respectively, in the backseat of a car next to Cedric Jones. We know that.
Right.
Now, there was who's Mona Kalai?
I have no idea other than her name was on a prescription bottle.
Okay, so there was a prescription. One of the prescription bottles that was found in the car actually had a name on it, right?
Right.
Seeming to indicate that it was prescribed to a person, right?
Right.
A person named Mona Kalai, K-A-L-A-Y-E, right?
Right.
All right. At what point did you reach out to Mona Kalai to find out if that was her prescription or what her prescription was doing in the back of that car? When did you do that?
I didn't.
Okay.
Ha! Got him! Got him.
So, similar to the guns, right? One of the things, as you conduct an investigation, that you might want to do when you have contraband and multiple people around it, is you might want to investigate, see if you can determine who handled a particular item of contraband, right?
Right.
Okay. So we've got 2 bottles in State's Exhibit 63L, right?
Yep.
These are the items that were found, where were these?
In the middle console compartment of the back seat.
Middle console, right next to or behind Cedric Jones?
That would have been right next to him.
Okay. They're in a plastic bag now. Obviously, they weren't in a plastic bag then. This is an evidence bag, right?
Right.
The bottles were here as they are inside of this bag, right?
They weren't in that bag.
They were out.
Right.
Clear, right?
Yeah.
All right. You will see these, right?
Yes.
And they're plastic, which means that if you handle them, there's the possibility you may leave fingerprints, sweat, something, biological fluid, something on the bottles, right?
Right.
All right. Now, tell the jury at what point, in an effort to determine who actually handled these bottles, who might be in possession of them, tell the jury when you sent them off to the crime lab or wherever to have them analyze the fingerprints.
I didn't.
All right. So, 2017, found the bottles. We're in 2024. You cannot tell this jury that you have any information about who handled the bottles based on any investigation you did, right?
It's not needed because it's illegal to be in. And if you don't have prescription for that medication, it's illegal to be in possession of it.
Sure. But if I'm in a car with someone else, and that person is the one who is in possession of and is holding and handling the contraband, you would want to know that it's that person who's been handling and holding it as opposed to me, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay. So let me just ask a question. You didn't bother to have any fingerprint analysis done on any of these?
No.
Not that you couldn't, you just didn't.
It wasn't needed. Again, like I said, it's illegal to be in possession of medicine that's not prescribed to you.
Could you have sent the bottles off to be analyzed to see who handled them?
I could have, but it wasn't necessary.
You could have. You did not. True?
Because it wasn't necessary.
Now that answer that question,
I said I could have, but it wasn't necessary.
and the question was, did you?
No.
All right. State 64 legal. 2 pill bottles. Same question. No analysis done on these fingerprints or biological fluid.
No. No.
I want to show you where my time is occurred in 2017. You've been a police officer for what, 11 years?
11 years.
What was your rank?
An officer.
Officer. Okay.
So pretty much, the officer that they had come up and tried to, be this witness as far as when they pulled over Young Thug and Gunna, he kind of made him look like he's, kind of racist or whatever. But we're going to stop right there for the night, and we'll come back to this. I'll do another segment of it, and we'll finish that up by this weekend. This is the last day of trial for this week, so I'll cover what really happened today and yesterday and any other parts that I might have forgot about. But this is just a gist of what's been going on this week. Still no, they're there. There was some discussions about the guy that got killed, Nut, who was also, I forgot to tell y'all this. I forgot that it was rumored that Nut had a relationship with Fannie Willis. So, that's why that's why she was so adamant about getting Young Thug convicted about this, because there was believed to be a relationship between Fannie Willis and the gang leader Nut. So we gonna see, man. We gonna see what really happens in this trial. Y'all know I'm gonna keep my ears to the streets on it. Break it down, put up clips. Y'all check my shorts out. I'm gonna try to keep putting more and more shorts out to, pretty much cover what's going on in this trial. It's easier for you to watch little bits and pieces of it instead of having to watch a long drawn out trial of it. But I definitely want to just keep track of what's going on with it and just go from there. But y'all make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't already. Share the content. Salute to everybody, man. I'm going to do a quick Hitman Live, probably for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Try to get out of here no later than 1:30. So if y'all rocking with me on the Hitman series, where we're on the mission to defeat all the campaigns, all the syndicates, and then we probably will work on defeating all the Hitmans, the Hitman 1, 2, and 3. But we're definitely going to put Hitman on a certain day of the night, because I want to cycle through the games. I don't want to just, get stuck on one game or whatever. As much as I love Hitman, But I'm going to keep it where I can rotate through games Monday through Sunday. So I just got to find me a Hitman night. I might need 2 nights for Hitman. Damn. But anyway, I'll see y'all on the gaming channel. Appreciate everybody. Salute Knowledge. Salute all my mods. 40 the Splatter. Perpetual Learner. Salute El Hombre. Salute to Too Smart. Mika. Iceberg Thoughts. Chocolate Candy Lady. Justin N. Sister T. 421 TV. Salute to the homie Jimmy McFly. Salute to Lala H. Justin Hawkins. Salute Unity. Salute K2O. Salute Steel J. And if I forgot about you, ain't no love lost. I'll see you a little bit later. I'm out.